Good evening. How is everybody doing tonight? I am Gustavo von WhirlyFreak, and this is Hello WhirlyBall Nation, a live-streamed Zoom call, of National WhirlyBall Players. We check in on each other weekly and see what's going on in everybody's lives, and that's been kind of our gig for the better part of a year here. My dogs are barking. I'm sure y'all can hear that. Ruby's being crazy. But yeah, I don't know how much longer I may or may not be doing these live streams. I might do them unlisted. So if you're somebody who only watches this because it is public, let me know, because I may be only doing this for you, and I will continue to. But if I don't know that you're out there, it's going to be really easy for me to stop, because I could just stream to an unlisted link and we can send that to the people that want to watch it and all that stuff. With that being said, let's check in on the said Zoom room and see what's going on. I got David Bowen in transit, driving around the streets of Seattle. Is that where you are?
Actually, I'm driving across the I-90 floating bridge on my way to Issaquah.
Yeah, I have no idea what that is.
Well, the I-90 floating bridge is the longest floating bridge in the world.
Okay.
For those of you that, if you ever want to come to Seattle and say that you drove across the world's longest floating bridge, this is it. And I'm heading eastbound on Interstate 90. Interstate 90 starts at the waterfront in downtown Seattle and goes across the entire nation and ends up in Boston, unless you live in Boston. And then they say that it starts in the Atlantic Ocean in Boston and ends in Seattle. But we can agree to disagree on that one. Little geography lesson, but I-90 does go all the way from Seattle to Boston, continuously across the entire United States.
Right on. And we also have Mr. Fry, David Fry from Cleveland on the Zoom calls. First hour of the Zoom call per usual.
Per usual. The only time I get a chance with the dogs, and it's bedtime.
Yeah, for sure.
They're already sacked out.
Yeah, they're ready already.
Yeah, I don't know. No.
Dogs.
With the background on there, it doesn't really take a good shot of them.
Right, it's trying to compute it as a background, not a dog.
Yeah.
Well, right on. Yeah. So what's the good word in Cleveland?
They tried to play. They didn't have enough guys again.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess they get a commitment for 7 to 8, and a lot of these C guys aren't showing up, and so it's all Anthony and Chili and Sully and Sean, the Dobie brothers, Degsy. Well, Degsy couldn't make it because he was at church. They wanted to do it during his church hours, and he won't do that.
Right on.
So
you gotta worship at the Church of WhirlyBall. That's what you gotta do.
Yeah. Well, he did for many years too.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So how's the traffic there, Mr. Bowen?
Doing 64. Wide open. That is the one nice thing about the pandemic is the traffic in the greater Seattle area has improved immensely, especially during rush hour times.
Yeah.
More people staying home, working from home.
Yeah.
If they figured out ways to do it.
Yeah, well, either people are working from home or they're not working, and then restaurants are back open now here, 25% capacity, but for a long time, if you couldn't go to a restaurant, weren't driving to
Oh,
your
still,
favorite
yeah, it's still
restaurant?
25% capacity is still only 50% employees.
Yeah, it's not even 50%.
Well, I
Depends
mean,
on,
you
I
got
mean,
your kitchen and wait staff, so
yeah, but
you can't forget about people in the kitchen.
but they're not fully staffed in the kitchen, you know. Instead
Well,
of I mean, most restaurants I've been to recently, instead of having one or two people at the hostess stand, and then 3-4 people that are seating you, there's usually just one person, and then one person that seats everybody. And if you got 25% capacity, and if 25% people are actually showing up, which they're not, you only need 25% of the wait staff.
okay,
And,
well, we have a little bit higher capacity right now.
We have 25%.
No, this place was packed the other day.
No. I had dinner out on Monday for my daughter's 21st birthday. I drove up to Bellingham for her birthday, and the place was empty. So
No.
normally it would be full.
The place we went to was packed the other night.
Yeah.
It's because they just lifted the ban at the time.
Yeah.
They just lifted our 10 o'clock ban.
Okay.
So places can stay open longer now.
I think we're being bumped from 25 to 50% this week or next week. I don't know.
If the numbers continue to climb, they're going to put us at 50%, but we're not there yet. Though they did open movie theaters finally.
I'm not sure about that here.
Yeah, movie theaters are open also at 25% capacity here.
Hey, I'm eligible to get my shot now.
Woohoo!
I'm eligible for a vaccine, even though I've had it. I've already tested positive for the COVID, but I'm eligible now to go get a vaccine.
Well, yeah, I don't know.
It's all due. Well, I'm still way early. It's all due to the stem cell transplant. They say I'm high. High risk.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, I wonder when my age group will be available or whatever.
You won't be till May.
May.
Yeah, seriously.
If I make it that long.
Seriously, it'll be May before anybody below 40 is.
Nice. Yeah, I go in group 2B, which we're not there yet, but I get to go a little earlier because of my job. So.
Okay. They just announced mine the other day. I can't sign up until Thursday, but I'm not sure. I think I'm gonna hold off a couple of weeks and hopefully get that new Johnson & Johnson one.
I want to be able to see that one of these.
The one and done, so I don't have to go twice. See if I can finagle a way into that.
I was actually at Costco earlier today, and they were doing vaccinations in Costco today, which is the first time I've seen that they were doing,
Oh yeah.
In a pharmacy.
Do they have those pop-up clinics?
Yeah. Well, it was, I don't know if it was pop-up or, it was planned or what, but.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, Costco might have brought them in to do their employees. Well, no, that wouldn't make. They're not age group. Not in the right groups yet.
No, they were. Everybody I saw was senior citizens that were getting vaccinated inside Costco.
Okay.
Today, so.
Yeah.
By the way, I messaged my group Didn't get any response on the Seattle group. I did get a response from Alex saying he was going to be on in about a half hour, and that was about 10 minutes ago. So I would expect him right about 7.
Relax. I'm sorry, I'm yelling at the dog.
Oh,
She's
fine.
ringing the bell to go outside, and she just came in. She just came in 20 minutes ago. She doesn't want to lay down and go to sleep, so she's going to ring the bell and go outside.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I know her motive. I know your MO. Just go lay down.
There's a familiar face.
Wow, Clint's in the house.
Clint Fisher in the house.
What's going on, man?
What's up, Clint?
This is my first time using this phone to do this, so I hope it's okay.
Seems fine. Seems fine to me.
Good.
I'm about 3 minutes from my destination, so when I get there, I'll send another message to my group saying that Clint's on, and I'm sure a bunch of people are going to jump on because they're going to want to ask questions about nationals.
Yeah, they will.
They're going to want to grill me.
Yeah, get your Nationals hat on.
You said.
Isn't that why you're here?
You promised the world, and now you're saying it's not the world.
Yeah, Clint.
Gus is in charge of everything.
Yeah, is that what it is?
Yeah. Well, if it's anything good, I'm part of it. If it's anything that's not good, then talk to Gus.
Oh, I see it.
Seems fair, right?
Yeah. I'll get all the complaints.
Oh man, I wish I had a Uno. Uno card. Draw 2, please.
I actually bought a old deck. I was looking on eBay for an old style deck. This is a 1983 print of the Uno cards that was relatively unused because I have a deck from this era, but it's a nasty, dirty, bent up cards. So I just wanted something nice and clean and flashy. So I pretty much bought a Uno deck on eBay just for this card to put in this hat. Isn't that special?
You need some special hobbies.
I do have special hobbies. Buying cards.
You ought to do something on Sunday mornings for about 4 hours.
Yeah, there's that too. That takes up all my time.
Man, I was sore. Not as sore as that first week, but I was sore.
I irritated the hell out of my tattoo. I had a fresh tattoo, only like 4 days old, and there I was with my pads on. When I got out there, I didn't think anything of it. I was just playing. My legs are hitting.
This sounds like a tattoo commercial.
Oh no, it's gonna be a rough heal now because of it. Oh well.
So is it just me and you?
Well,
I can.
We got David.
I'm here.
David Fry stays on until he falls asleep, and David Bowen's
I just don't have the
driving
phone
around.
mounted anywhere. It's sitting on the chair.
Okay. Well, I'm on my phone for the first time, so I haven't. I've always used my computer, so I can only see. Well, now I can see him. Okay. Well,
It's
kind
the
of.
dog licking my arm.
I'm driving, so I'm all dark.
Yeah.
I got a dog sitting in my lap.
Gross.
Yeah,
How you doing, Dave?
I'm good.
Doing well, thank
Glenn,
you.
how are you?
Better. I'm just real tired. Thought I better jump on and get yelled at real quick and then go to bed.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing like a little abuse to make you tired.
Who's gonna yell at you?
Does that dog?
Yes.
Does that dog know where you've been?
Oh yeah. This is my number 7.
Oh.
She's got a
Jesus.
7 on her chest. No, this is the lover dog. This is the pound puppy that I did the best with.
Aw.
If I'd have been home a little bit more with her, she would
Trying
be
to lick your
perfectly
face
fine.
off.
Oh yeah,
Call 911. He's being attacked.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Hey, you look better, man.
I feel a little better.
Good. Last I talked to you, you were just starting to battle COVID.
Oh, that was back in December. Yeah, I had some real issues back then between the COVID and the graft versus host disease. Get down for a little bit. Go lay down. Go on, go lay down. But nothing. Some steroids aren't fixing up and screwing up.
Well, sounds very positive.
Well, the steroids fixed the one item, fixed the one problem, and in turn created another.
Well, great.
They fixed my eyelids, but my vision is now completely different than it was.
Hopefully, I'm going to hope for the better, but I'm going to guess the worst.
I can't see with glasses. I can't see with my normal glasses. The readers really only help right now because my eyes are tired. So I really couldn't. I mean, you're blurry, and I'm holding the phone 6 inches from my face.
Good. I've become a male model in that case.
But so I mean, and they don't do a whole lot.
Oh man, I'm sorry to hear that.
So, well, it's I'm tapering off the steroids right now. I'm on a chemo cycle right now.
You're not going to play. You're not going to be able to play defense like that.
It'll get better.
You can't play defense. You can't play defense like that.
Well, it'll be 2 years in June.
Oh.
So we'll see.
That you've played defense or played?
No, I played since. I've been out there since.
I go out and block Billy. Make you feel better.
About a month after I was cleared out with the leukemia.
Oh man, I'm happy to hear you're cleared out.
Yeah, but I've got other shit from it now, so I got other shit from the treatment.
Well, damn it! Tell me something positive, and don't let that dog lick your face. What the hell?
Well, I trust her more than anybody else. At least I know where her nose has been.
Yeah, I saw Gus doing that to Sam this weekend.
Oh, yeah. That was a pretty good practice, though.
Yeah, I thought so. He didn't have a bunch of idiots there.
Chicago didn't show up?
No, Chicago was there.
I can say that because none of them are on yet. Right?
Yeah, nobody's on here yet.
Okay.
Yeah, nobody watched.
Cool.
Nobody
I'm just
watches
joking.
YouTube.
I love those guys. But I know they're the only ones that travel for it, so.
Yeah, Bill, George, and Dan Doherty. So we had that was the trio that came out to practice.
Yeah.
They were
Well, Jimmy Gall used to go up. Jimmy Gall used to go up a lot the years that he played with them. He would go up on the weekends and practice.
Yeah.
I
I remember seeing him around when I first joined the club.
know some of the other guys have gone up there. I made a couple trips up there.
Jimmy Gall was on vacation this past week and a half, so I've tried. I've been doing my best to get anyone that's played in the last 20 years or so to see if they're interested. I got Josh to come back. I got Pat, Wayne. I got Billy to come in once.
I heard about Billy.
Yep. And I got a few others.
Billy.
Yep. And so I've been trying just to kind of spread the news to say, hey, it's here and it's in June. And I'm hoping everyone can make it. Right now we're looking more and more positive, but as we get into spring, it's common for colds and flus and all that stuff to come up, and that's going to cause an issue, I'm sure. But I think by June, I'm hopeful that we can have.
Well, they said the flu is way down this year because of the all the mask wearing. Yeah. Yep. So I mean, they're used to having. They just had it on the news tonight. They're used to having 250 people a day from the normal flu. And now they're not. Now they're seeing that. They're not seeing that. They're seeing down in the 30s and 20s. So it's not as prevalent.
Is it true that the
My wife
doctors were
went
saying
to
letting a
skin.
dog lick your face is the best cure?
Well, it removes all the skin. I don't have to exfoliate.
Oh, good. Good.
Yeah.
Hey, Bill. How you doing?
Very well. How's things?
Good. How was the ride home the other day?
It was all right.
Yeah.
I wish I was an hour away, man. It would make that a lot easier.
Yeah.
Anybody sore the next day?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. 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 Yep.
Bill?
I mean,
Yeah, my like my thighs and my quads and stuff are always really tight for like 2 days after coming out there.
I had an odd one. My finger, like halfway up one of my fingers was, I don't know if I jammed it or cut it wrong, but I was trying to drive my physical car home, and it was first time I've ever had a hand injury after a practice like that. You know, like
Like the joint was locking up?
well, once I turned 30 last year, it was tough.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
wait till you
All
start
downhill
getting hand
after 30.
cramps. Wait till you get hand cramps. I had
That
carpal tunnel surgery like 20 years ago.
Too much porn.
Exactly. Yeah, it was Sanders and body work, but yeah, too much porn. There's never enough porn.
So this is my first time using this on a phone, as I mentioned, and I'm just seeing there's different pages, and I see Mr. Bowen is over there. Hi, Dave. How you doing?
Always good, always good.
What's the latest up there? You guys wearing 3 masks yet, or just sticking with 2?
You can wear one if it's medical grade or cloth
Okay.
with 2-layer.
Oh, good. Yeah, we at my work, we were just they put out a big flyer about that. They were talking about how the most important one to wear the mask is actually the person with COVID. They said that if you had a choice, you would give the person with COVID the mask. They said obviously both people wearing is ideal, but they said if a person had COVID and wasn't wearing a mask and that person was expelling, even if you had a mask on, your chances are still fairly high. I found that to be very interesting.
Yep. Well, yeah, we things are going well here. We've been having some Monday nights for the last couple weeks, and now that things are starting to open up a little bit more, they've got some more interest. So instead of 10 people playing 3 games, they're doing 2 sets of 2 games. Now, some people played all 4, and some people just came for the early games, and some people just came for the late games. I actually, it was my daughter's 21st birthday, so I didn't go.
Oh my
But,
God, you're old.
Yes, I am.
My son just turned 20 just a couple days ago. So yes.
Yeah.
My youngest was 22 this year.
Me,
What up?
David. Other
Or
David
no,
is usually.
I'm sorry, 24 this year. Jesus Christ. She's
Other-
24 this year.
Other David is generally the oldest person in the room, and then I'm always the second oldest person in the room because nobody around.
The other David's 104.
Yeah, something like
I
that.
feel it. The dog years.
Well, today is Mr. Gill's birthday, and so he's as old as me
Oh
officially.
yeah, I forgot to do that in my opening monologue. Yeah, happy
Is he-
birthday to James Gill.
51 today?
51 today.
51 today, yeah.
Yep, that's.
Yep.
I'm already 51, so I'll be 52 when Nationals rolls around.
God, we got a bunch of old fogies playing whirlyball.
I'm thinking because of diminished skills, you should move me back down to D.
Yeah, I'll play D with you.
We thought that before the diminished skills.
Okay, something like that.
Yeah, it's always interesting when what people want to do and talk about moving down and all those things, and it's such a hard call, because how do you compare a person like you that plays in Seattle with a lot of upper players and a lot of teams and a lot of coaching and that, and compare it to, say, someone, I don't know, say Florida or a center that doesn't have Atlanta doesn't have a lot. They've got more now, but
they've got more now, but they still don't have a lot. Right. Or compared to us, compared to Cleveland.
Well, I know in the old days,
other than the new guys coming up, other than the handful, the 6 new guys coming up.
Yeah.
And be honest with you, Sean's been playing a while now. Sully's been playing quite a while now. The Dobies, Olas.
Yeah.
All those old guys, Gall and me, and
the big problem there is that
Ricky and Billy. I think Billy still showed up for practice.
Well, but Ricky isn't. I mean, understandably, Ricky's what? He's got to be mid-60s,
at least.
Yeah, I mean, he's played for quite a while, and he's not interested.
He's got a family now,
right? But that is.
He's got kids.
There's the last I knew, and this has been a year and a half or 2 years ago, whatever. There were 17 league teams on one night, and if you really pushed it, you could get some people out of there. But he's not interested in that anymore, and I understand it.
Well, it's not his job anymore. It's Chili's job. Chili runs leagues.
Last I knew, he owned the place.
He owns the place, but he's not interested in running. Who do you talk to about other than the financial details? Everything else goes through Chili, does it not?
Not if you ask Chili.
And I would disagree slightly, because I don't necessarily think that the person that runs the leagues is the person that's necessarily responsible. It's got to come from the people that are there when the groups are there, when the birthday parties are there.
All those guys that are in leagues, all those guys are in leagues. They're the ones that need to talk it up and pull more people in.
Well, I think sometimes that's harder to do, but I know for me personally, that was when Jimmy was there. Jimmy was there, and he was going in, and if when I went in with McDonald's and he came, I'm over on the practice wall shooting by myself. Hey, would you want to play leagues? I was like, I don't know, what. And he goes, okay, well, you think about it. And then he goes over to the, to my friend Travis. Hey, David said he would want to do leagues, even though I said maybe, and next thing he's singling them out one at a time. He got 5 of us to come do leagues. Now I'm the only one that's left. But
well, I mean,
that was always bringing in new people.
But you have to have the right people to do that, and some people are better at that than others. Let me give you an example. The Olas haven't come to Michigan in quite some time now. They have their reasons, but
I don't know what it is. I think they play volleyballs on Sunday mornings.
Okay, but that's not WhirlyBall, and that's absolutely fine. It's absolutely fine, but they haven't come in a while. They've given me a couple of reasons, and that's fine. But I remember when in Flint, when I was running leagues and doing all that stuff, I used to put 5 total in my car and grab 2 more cars, and we would drive down there and whatever and play for whatever with you guys until we got to that point where honestly, where we were beating you guys. And then West Bloomfield, everyone started coming to Flint at that point. And that was a big thing. So, I mean, a lot of the problem, I think, is that in Novi, we've had such a cart issue for the last few years where there's so many problems with one-sided cars. There's a rocket out there. There's a couple of dogs and that kind of thing. And that plays into it, I'm sure. But if you were really into it, which obviously the Chicago guys have been, they're riding 4 hours to come and play for 5 hours and then driving home. So
I
mean, things, there'll be someone that comes up in Cleveland that is the next, it person that wants to do that. And that's what you need. You need that person that has that fresh idea and the drive to do that. Chili's done it for a long time. I think Chili's probably 35. I mean,
all right, guys, I'm here at my destination. I gotta go. I'll be back.
Don't go. Don't leave.
I gotta go.
No.
Chili was born in the 90s, early 90s.
Okay, so he's 30.
Probably, yeah, because he just graduated college not long ago.
Yeah, I mean, it's
He did online stuff after when he decided what he was going to do. He did it all online.
I mean, again, you just have to have the right people and the right. You really have to have backing. You have to have the back. The courts and carts have to be in good shape. You have to have the backing of management. You have to have the right people.
We never had a problem with
what?
problem in Cleveland. Ricky's got that all figured out. The cars.
I agree.
They're all pretty even. They're all pretty even.
Last several times we were there, carts were amazing. I agree. Cleveland carts are for their age and for what he's done to them. I mean, I would say they're probably the best running carts out there.
One of them.
Yeah, I mean,
they've been maintained properly.
Yeah, yep. We're one of the last ones that still uses SCRs and diodes, so that always adds that layer of issue. And
we had the same problems with the SCR and diodes. That's why I switched over to everything.
Right, but ours is
nowadays they want you to go to the brains.
Yeah, the brain is. It's just a motor control. The brain is just a motor control. They both Cleveland and Seattle use a slightly different motor controller. They work. They're proven. They use in golf carts.
Yeah.
The better choice is to go. The nice thing about the motor control is, with a weak car or a strong car, you can adjust that and make them so they're even. It's the way to go. But the initial investment to do that is about what, $20,000 a quart.
I'm not sure.
It's at least, I think it's $10,000 a quart. I think it's that's what I remember.
Okay, and what problems do you cut out? You cut out any problems with SCRs and diodes?
A lot. But you go back to, I'll use us, is that there was version 17 of the Whirly Brain, and it still didn't work right, and it got to like version 23, and it was, that they were gun shy to do that, and there isn't a great communication anymore between the owners. Seattle and Ricky and here they don't talk very much. And with Chicago taking over most everything, and they're opening their own centers, there's not a lot of initiative or incentive, I should say, for them to spread.
Yeah,
I mean, it's how many centers have opened that weren't opened by Chicago in the last 5 years?
Oh no, exactly. I understand, and I don't know the guy from Chicago. I don't know. I mean, obviously they have money and they have.
Well, Sam passed away.
They have initiative.
Sam passed away. The owner of Chicago. His son is now running it. So
okay,
that's was a very big surprise to all of us. Sam was a very nice. He was a businessman, but I could call and talk to him at any time. We had some words, but we worked that out, and I had no problem with Sam. We tried talking to his son. He's not really been involved with nationals. I hope he comes to nationals. I'd love it. He would enjoy it. I think it's really what we need for nationals, because Chicago has become in a lot of ways, they're controlling the future, and without them, it's going to be tough for us to keep playing.
I hear you. I agree.
Plus, Bill can shoot now, so.
As long as he doesn't try to shoot on me, because I got
That's
your
right.
number.
Yeah.
I got your number. Let's dance, Bill.
Actually, somebody blocked me twice last time I was out there. Nobody else blocked me, but somebody got me twice.
I haven't blocked anybody. Except for Clint 2 weeks ago.
Stuff my shit. Just that I went.
You shot it right into my
back in my face. Then Gus talked shit to me. I was so proud of him.
He told everybody last week he did that.
I don't blame him. I remember the first time I blocked James Gill. I told my family about it.
Oh, that's funny. That's the only big block I've had so far in practice, I think.
Hey.
BJ had a couple. Man, I love watching BJ block people.
Yep.
He does that behind the back thing.
Yeah, he had two behind the head.
Man. You don't see it coming, and he just knows he's got it when he does it. It's hilarious. It's like a ping pong move or something.
He's developed the crouching tiger. We're down, it's up, and then
He doesn't want you to know, like, his chord awareness. He's very, like... Oh, it's funny.
He's definitely somebody that we were talking when I was there last week, and I was like, I mean, if I was in Michigan, he'd definitely be somebody that I think we'd play well off of each other. We seem to mesh pretty well.
He told me he hated you.
Yeah, I mean,
Bill, I think you've learned a lot. Your chord awareness is very, very good. You've become probably you've become one of your best shooters out there. I said this about our Dave, and that's that Dave Bernard. I said it's almost surprising when he misses. I mean, it's kind of like he's not to this level yet, but it's almost surprising when James misses. When Sam shoots the ball and it doesn't go in, and Jeremy, all those people have just gotten to that point where you almost expect it to go in, and some people are at that point. And I'm not saying you're there yet, but you when you shoot, it's going in most of the time, unless Gus blocks you.
Yes, yeah. Or BJ behind his head.
Yeah.
Lucky. It was lucky. All three of them.
Yeah, I can't remember who the hell stuffed me, but somebody got me twice. Maybe I just don't want to mention their name. I don't know.
Some cheater.
Did you... Uh-oh. Mark's entrance music. It must be Mark Mills showing up.
Well, I gotta go.
Hey, Clint. Is there any info that we should be telling our center about, like, if they're wondering about nationals or what may or may not happen? Is it too early to kind of talk about that
where
stuff?
we get all the centers together. We have different divisions.
Oh. This is A+ information.
Yeah, I mean, write this down. And then there's 4 divisions, and there's something we call unlimited. It's not a division, but it's a division.
Well, actually, so that could segue into it. So right now, like, we have a poll up just in Chicago, and we have 10 people that are like, I'm going no matter what. And they would be D+, C-, C+, kind of players. And I know typically it's like, hey, D division, if you've played D once, time to move on. I wonder how many
I think my answer
places
is this.
are even going to have a D team, and if they're...
Our anticipation is, it's going to be rough. We're hoping to have 1 or 2, but I think my honest answer is this: D division's probably going to be smaller. However, if you guys could have one, if Cleveland could have one, if what the hell? Who's eating?
It's
Probably
Steve.
Yeah.
No, wait, he's muted, so it's got to be David
No,
Frey.
I just muted him just now when we all said
okay.
Steve in unison.
we can have one. It's just that we have one brand new player, and then we have 4 people who played D that like Julie. Julie would rather stay in D than a packed C division this year.
It's so hard to make a rule that no one can ever play D more than once, and because you have some people who can't
Unfortunately,
practice.
I won D, so
You have some people that need to play D more than once.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I think.
And then you have some people that don't need to play D more than once.
Sure.
What
some
I
never
would
play
say,
D.
What I would say is this, and this is what I've always said, is that there's certain key people at every center that know their players. And what happened at one time was you had some key people who were stacking teams so they could win everything. And in D as a division, you don't want to do that. You want to have people who understand that a D team from Chicago is not the same D team as from Seattle or Michigan, depending, because they have upper players to practice against and show things to and all that stuff. Just because someone is not a great player in one of the top A centers doesn't mean they're not a good player. It just means that against that top talent they can't do it. So I'll go back here, and I'm not trying to single out Seattle, but at one point Seattle had what they were calling, well, I'm not going to say it, but they had A players that a lot of them didn't feel were A players, and they put them in B. Well, they won B like 6 years in a row or 5 years in a row because their B were better than everyone else's B. and you have to be careful of that. So my answer is that I hope we have a D division. I think we can get 4 teams is what I'm hoping for, at least for a minimum. I think let's just talk about who the people are and not obviously not here, but let's just be realistic about what their abilities are. Have they played before? And you know, we pretty much know all your guys. You pretty much know all our guys. So, I mean, we can come to a pretty good understanding. Now, you talk about guys, say, from Florida, if they're going to play with the Atlanta guys, well, you know, if they've got 3 Atlanta guys that have played and you put the 2 guys that have played already from Florida, that's not a D team. That's not going to be a D team. But you talk about, let's say who the players actually are and just talk about them and go from there. I think my thought right now, and I'll just tell the world this, and that's that I think that the big 3, Seattle, Michigan, and Texas, I'm hoping that we'll average out to 5 teams per center. So if we have 6 or 7, one has 5, one has 4, average out to somewhere around 5. So let's just say, just for our sake of argument, the big 3 have 15 teams. If you guys bring 3, there's 18. If Cleveland brings 2 or 3, we're up to 21, 20, just say 20. And so we also have Atlanta, and if they brought 2, we'd be at just say 22. And maybe we get some other team out there from someplace. So there's 23 teams. So 23 teams is a pretty decent turnout. For A division, I would
rushed.
What's that?
So we won't be rushed.
Right. But I mean, let's get crazy and hopeful and say that COVID numbers go way down and that we get people who are going to come back. Because I know a few of the Chicago guys say they're not playing. I know a few guys here that say they're not playing.
Yeah,
let's see
and
get into
like
it.
Within that topic of like even hoping for a D team. So normally with that, we rely on our Tuesday night leagues, which are our beginner leagues and our D teams. We still don't have that going on. Within Seattle playing, it's been like a group of
15,
around the same
20.
20 people, like rotating, but none of them are D players. But so Ben Hanna played last week. I don't know if anyone watched the live stream feed of anything, but so he was running the Tuesday night leagues beforehand, and he was saying that he wanted to talk to Tom to see about getting that going again, to get some beginners playing again. And hopefully, maybe they would want to do Nationals D. But as of right now, I mean, no one's played in D division within Seattle for over a year.
Yep,
and
I mean that's pretty much most places, right? I mean, there's been no push, and we understand that. I mean, but here's the thing: do we want to have Nationals this year? I think it would surprise me that it was above 75% were positive for Nationals. I did not anticipate that. I talked with several people, and my point with the poll, I shouldn't say my point. The reason I put the poll up was to see where we were, because no one knew. I would have guessed we were at 50%. We were closer to 75 and 80%. So, and my guess is, depending on how the COVID situation goes up or down, the numbers are going to go up and down because of that. I mean, that just makes sense, right? I mean, if it's way better and we're way down, I think we'll have more teams. If it's up, I think we'll have less teams. I mean, that's pretty simple. I think with 20 teams, I think we can do a good Nationals. I'm not saying 20 is the number. There is no set number. But I'm just saying from experience, if we have 20 teams, if we had 2 or 3 A from Michigan, there's an A from Texas, an A or 2 from Seattle. That's a decent for A. For B, if we have 2 B teams, we get 3 more to come in. There's 5. You know, a Seattle, Cleveland, Chicago talked
Texas.
About at one point, Texas. I mean, I think that's reasonable for those 2. And I think for C's always our biggest division. I think we'll have, I'm guessing 2. Gus, would you agree with that? 2, just say 2-ish. By the time we're done, so 2. Chicago will have 1, I would think, at least. I would think Texas would have at least 1. I would think Seattle would have at least 1. By the time we're done with that, I think 6, 7 is reasonable for that. For D division, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know the answer. And I think we won't know for another month and a half, 2 months. It's going to be close for D division. I think Cleveland, Chicago, us can all drive. The flights are fairly inexpensive from Texas. Atlanta usually drives up. So the possibility is greater because people can drive here. So I think that the potential is there for 6, but I think we'll probably end up with 4 or 5 is my guess. But that's just based on me guessing, to be quite honest.
Everyone just expects us to be rich and just fly.
You're not?
I am, but I'm just saying.
Well, the male modeling career, I mean.
Yeah, it's going good.
I could tell.
With my background of WhirlyBall memorabilia, I have my own personal office.
Hot.
Yeah, it's my bedroom, but it's also my personal office.
You missed the dog licking Dave Fry's face.
I never missed that.
You can go back and watch it.
You think I missed it? You think I missed it? I didn't miss it.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I was there.
I just had to prove I'm loved by somebody.
No, I mean, yeah, I'll answer any question anybody has. I'll answer honestly and tell you exactly what we went through it, talked to a lot of people. I wasn't sure where we were. There were different opinions. We should put several options out there, do this, do that, whatever. I mean,
does it change like the fact that like in a weird way, I mean, I don't want to sound like bad, but like now that Texas is banning masks, not banning them, but okaying the fact that they don't have to wear masks, is that still like, I don't know.
We're going to go by,
so weird, right?
We're going to go by the guidelines here. Whatever, we're very conservative. I mean, us in Seattle or us in Washington are similar. Illinois is not too different either. Ohio, Texas, Florida, they seem to be more free with it, but more conservative here by our current government. And so we will go by what is the regulation here. My guess is we will have to wear masks. I would be at this point shocked if
would it be one of those things where you would ask them before they came out to
we will be telling people what is required, not based on what we want or what we think. We will be talking about what is required based on the state. This is not going to be Clint or Sam or Gus or whoever.
Yeah, no. I wasn't expecting like just you, but like just for asking for, say, other people out there if they're worried about like, since Texas has no regulations anymore, if you'd be would you ask them to take a temperature before they flew out, or I don't know. Like
I think, I mean, here's
kind of a COVID test or something like that for those.
No, it's not really like a COVID test, but like some sort of like a minimal, I guess. But like,
well, it would be nice. It would be nice if we could get COVID tests. To be quite honest, I thought about it.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I thought about bringing some temperature things there. We'll take all the precautions we can, but I look at the NBA, the NCAA tournament, the Olympics, they're all going on. Obviously we're nowhere near that. We're not going to have that amount of funds to do all those things. I mean, we're close, right? I mean,
we're close. It's
close.
We
had 20 teams. They had 20,000. It's gross. No, I just the safety factor is completely. I mean, we are aware that people are very concerned, and if masks are required in Michigan, if it's part of our regulations, you will have to wear masks. If you don't want to wear a mask, I mean, and you have a problem with that's your call, and that's what you'll have to make a decision on. But we will go by what the rules are here, and we will enforce those rules.
So Clint, just so in
if you're not gonna wear a mask, don't show up.
No,
I said we're gonna go. No, wait, hold on. I don't want anyone to say anything different. We are going to go by what is required here in Michigan. At this
Exactly.
time, it appears that a mask will be necessary. That is what I would guess, or my own personal guess. I think everyone here would agree with that.
So like if it was like masks aren't necessary, it's just a matter of personal.
That's what I was gonna say. If the state deems that masks aren't mandated, then it will not be a requirement.
I would be shocked if that was the case, but that if the CDC and Michigan says that that's what we should do, that's what we'll do.
Okay.
So I think you could clarify that a little differently, because just because the state says there's no mandate, the county could still say there's a mandate too. So there's
how about
local
this?
officials that could do
What
it
is
too.
required
Whatever is required at the center,
what's required within the center.
That I think is a better way to say it.
Yeah,
absolutely. Absolutely.
And my guess is we are what, 3 months away now, roughly.
Yeah.
3.5 months.
3.5.
I mean, the numbers are down, but I really don't see us not wearing masks. But if we get lucky and the numbers go way down, and that'd be awesome and great. We've talked about what we can do at the center. Our center capacity we think is somewhere around 500 or 600 people. I know we were at 25%. I believe we're going to be up at 50 soon.
Tomorrow, with our 2 days, Friday, 50%.
Yep. Yeah. So with our center,
the nice thing is like Michigan is like a big
huge
center.
Yeah,
so
we have the
like
bar,
you can spread out like
party rooms, the other bar outside. We've talked about things. This is all this talk right now, but an outdoor patio type of tent thing. We talked about all of those things. It's all in discussion. We understand the concerns. We understand that people don't want to come here and be right in the middle of people with people not wearing masks and drunk and all of those things. And I'm not putting on my mask. If masks are required, then you will be asked to leave after, if we've asked you enough times, you'll be asked to go, because we can't get shut down here.
Yeah,
because
Texas,
someone doesn't want to follow the rules. I really do. I hope that we don't have to wear masks and everything is great and wonderful. But if I was a betting man, I would say we're going to be wearing masks. Would you agree, Ben?
Yeah.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I think that we've been pretty slow and conservative to move the needle on all that kind of stuff. So it's hard to imagine that it wouldn't. But I think that it's possible that it could be removed depending on how the vaccine rollout that they talked about earlier in the week goes, and how many people are vaccinated. We'll see. I mean, I think that's really what's going to determine all that. And I think in the next couple months we'll see. But yeah, I would expect that masks are going to be still necessary, and that's just the way it is.
Mr. Bernard, do you agree?
Yes.
Professor
I think it's definitely going to be
Bernard
masked still.
from Hogwarts.
Yeah, we've been working with our people here to make sure we're wearing masks. We have a couple people that are, I think I'll use the term resistant, to keep them on the whole time. I've yelled at several of them, and we will address that as we get a little closer.
Guys?
Yeah, right. Dummies, all the dummies. No,
I want to drink all that good Flint water.
The mask on your chin. It's like your mask's on your chin, dude. I almost said that as a referee. Hey, your mask.
Please do.
I'm up there in a ref booth with 2 masks on.
I've told people, and if we will make it abundantly clear that these are the rules before you come, and we're gonna follow what's safe and directed by, as Ben said, not just in Michigan but specifically in Novi, where the center is. It's been very conservative. If you look at what the nation's done in general, we have been on the conservative side for sure. I think we mirror in many ways what Washington has done. I personally see us wearing masks. Hopefully we don't have to, and this goes away and it's magic. But I would guess we will be wearing masks, and we'll be practicing social distancing. We will set up, I'm sure, hand washing stations and do all the things that we can do to ensure that everyone's safe. If someone can bring in, I'm sure we can bring in some type of temperature readings. We can request that people take a COVID test, but I know, how do you enforce that, and how do you even verify that? But
I think you're going to have a lot more people that are coming that have already been vaccinated too. I think it's starting to roll out faster than people thought, and a lot of the people who didn't even want to practice in person locally here, they're already on the yes part of the poll, and it's because they've gotten the vaccination already too.
Yeah,
so.
and I know that Johnson & Johnson won't just be one shot. That's going to vastly improve the numbers. I've talked to several people here. My parents have got it recently. Other people I know are on the list. So, let's hope for a miracle, but let's plan for the point that we probably will have to wear them. If we don't, awesome, and everyone feels comfortable, and that's the rule. But I wouldn't count on it. So, yep.
The Johnson & Johnson one is so much better for everybody from a standpoint of ease of vaccination, because it doesn't require, it can go in a refrigerator, it doesn't need to be diluted, and it can be delivered at Walgreens, just like a flu shot.
But don't they, haven't the early findings been that it's like 60-70% effective rather than 90 plus?
So you have to look at what those numbers mean. It's more than just that percentage, right? It's about serious illness from the disease if you get it after you're vaccinated, all that stuff. I mean, it's like
because that was like just as high,
right? It's like the COVID test to see whether you test positive. It's all about the conditions in which you're tested, right? So the numbers aren't necessarily.
It's just going to keep you from dying.
Yeah. That's the one thing about the Johnson & Johnson. No one died from from COVID during the vaccination from the which is different.
Bill, it has 100% effectiveness against hospitalization and death.
Yeah,
interesting.
Yeah. But Clint, I know that there's at least I was talking with Brad here in Seattle about the potential, or at least discussion, of postponing the tournament by at least a couple months. Where are you with that? Like, is that still a possibility? Is that on the table? Are you talking about that? Or is that
we've set June, the week of June 24th as the national week. We're not going to vary from that unless it is mandated here, and we are come to a point where it will become obvious that we can't have it. It's mandated by the city of Novi or by Michigan, or if we have a giant spike where we just don't feel safe. Otherwise, it's going to be in June. We've talked about all the possibilities. The summertime in this part of the country is very difficult to get people to practice. It's also, it plays havoc on our courts, the humidity in July and August. And if we can't have it the end of June, is having it the end of July, 1 month later, going to make a big difference? If it's that bad, it's taken months before we've had a decrease. So really it would have to be later in the year. And as you approach the November, December timeframe, obviously that's the busy time of year, and that would be tough. So I will say that right now, nationals are the planned weekend of June 22nd to 23rd through 26th, I think it is. I'd have to look at the actual dates here. We've talked about other dates, but right now we are planning, and it looks like that will be our date. So
pretty sure it's
I understand
through the 27th.
Okay, I understand the concern. I understand the reasons behind it. People have talked about, well, couldn't you get more people? It's possible, but for us, it would be very difficult based on several factors to have it at a different time. It would have to be later in the year. If by, I'm just going to throw out a date here. There is no official, but I would think by mid-May for sure, possibly a little earlier than that, we will have a pretty good idea of where we stand. My hope is, and the trajectory right now points to the fact that we're able to open up a little more and things are looking good. Now, my own personal feeling is that springtime, usually we get a little spike in this kind of stuff with flu or viruses. Hopefully that doesn't happen. I know flu is down considerably this year because of the mask wearing, but I think we will see some spike here as we open up a little more. But I would anticipate in the next few months, it'll come back down as we approach summer, especially in the southern climates, Texas and Atlanta and that type of thing. But right now, Nationals is slated for that weekend. And unless there is some driving force that makes it very apparent, whether that's the government, we can't do it for, obvious reasons, then it will be that weekend. Does that help? Was that good, bad, indifferent? Give me an answer.
Steve's back. Steve's muted again.
That's very clear.
Muted myself.
Oh. Yeah, you quit doing that, Gus.
Well,
do it again, Gus. Do it again.
Stop being annoying.
Yeah.
No, I think looking at it from a logistic standpoint, I agree with you 100%. Just looking at it from, I don't know if I'd use the word, is ethical. That almost seems like really heavy duty, but just at the point of getting getting it to a point where enough people could get vaccinated, and at that point converging together and having it.
When is that? Let me give you an example. If if a variant comes out and infects everyone again, and we are no longer the vaccine's not protecting us, that right there would be a reason we would have to shut it down and have to pick a different time. But if that's the case, is another 3-4 months going to be enough? Who knows, right? No one knows what's going to happen. I can guess.
But by that point, though, 3 or 4 months, that the majority of citizens should be vaccinated by that point. By June, we don't know.
Steve, that assumes they want it, though. There's a segment of the people who aren't going to get it at all, whether it's available.
Well, I think it's safe to say. I could be wrong. I'm going out on a limb here, but I'd say the majority of people are going to want it.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Sure.
And at this point, how many of us, how many of you out there have been vaccinated?
Well, I think you also have to ask how many people have had it, because between the shots and the quote herd immunity, a lot of people here have had it. I see 3 people right now that have had it on this call. So we've had a lot of people that will be.
I got my second shot today.
Naturally immune. So we've got a lot of people that are getting it. We're still 3 months out. So by that point, we should be pretty close. I understand. Well, but by the logic of waiting 3 months, why don't we just wait till next year?
Can't we just order 150 vaccines, and so once someone comes in the door, they get stuck, right? So,
yeah,
Johnson & Johnson one, yeah.
I'm sure WhirlyBall can get bumped up on the list, right? We've got some clout.
Yeah, we're a high priority. We're essential.
Steve, I don't mean to sound anything except honest here, and that's we have talked a lot about this, and we just there is no crystal ball that says when's the magic time. If we really, the honest answer is if it was, you want to be truly, ethical is not the term, but if you want to be truly cautious, we would cancel this now and not have it till next year. Would you agree?
I would agree with that.
But my reason for the poll was to see how people felt, and again, I was amazed by the positivity from the poll, and we will do everything that we can do to make it as safe as possible. But what are those measures going to be? For example, someone said they want me to put out right now that you have to wear double masks right now. Well, I don't want to say that right now because we don't know. As we get closer, does everyone feel safer today than they did 6 months ago? I do, because I know more about it.
Yeah, and
I know.
And if I feel like if the restrictions within your county are a mask, and if someone's uncomfortable, then if they feel more comfortable wearing a double mask, then
absolutely
they can double mask it up themselves or something. It's just the same thing as all of a sudden you guys decide that no mask is okay, but if people feel like it's more comfortable to wear a mask, then just It's not like they don't have to. They can wear those.
I don't see that happening. I feel we'll be wearing masks.
No. I'm just saying, like, in the circumstances that it happened, like, people can still wear them, and like that way they're more comfortable. It's just a matter of it's allowed within your county. You can give the information that's
unfortunately the answer to that is that it's actually the person who has COVID. If they're not wearing a mask, and everyone else, if everyone else is wearing a mask and one person has COVID, it's still a good chance of it being spread. It's actually the person who's got COVID needs to wear the mask. So, I mean, these are just things that they've come out with. They talked about at work. We get constant emails about these things and the best way to wear a mask, the ones that are the most effective. They talk about, have you guys seen which way to wear the mask? Who is cooking dinner?
Steve.
Jesus Christ, man.
Fucking Steve.
Jesus.
Damn it, Steve.
I'm not even being that loud. I have a ladle and I'm like scooping stuff from a pan. How the fuck is that loud?
So all of us can hear it.
The loudest ladle in the world.
The ladle clinks the pan, we hear it.
You see how none of us are in a kitchen? That's how we know it's you.
He's in a fucking galley.
Unless fucking Bernard's cooking up in Hogwarts.
I thought he was on a Navy ship somewhere. He's cooking for the whole ship.
Yeah, I thought he was doing dishes.
Yeah.
You know, Clint, I can add something that really isn't WhirlyBall related, but it's about tournaments and stuff like that with my daughters and
oh yeah.
But both playing volleyball. They're in a club there's a couple hundred girls, and they're going to tournaments, not just in Michigan, but into Ohio and Indiana, all with different mandates for masks, whether masks or no masks. They put a halt to practice 4 weeks ago because of an outbreak from a tournament. And what they found is the outbreak isn't from the tournament itself, it's from the extracurricular outside of the tournaments. So the tournaments typically aren't the things that spread. It's the hotel room pizza parties and getting together at the restaurants. So, it really comes down to the individuals that need to be safe, right? I mean, I think the tournament can be safe easily, right? You make sure people wear masks and you're done, right? It's not that hard. So I think that, having the tournament in June shouldn't be a real issue. It really comes down to how safe do people want to be, and it's
I agree.
Thing, right?
I agree. I mean, the answer is that we cannot make it 100% safe. We cannot. We could do everything we can do.
Right.
My fear, Ben, is that it's going to be people sitting at the bar drinking after their fifth drink. They're going to be, mask off and belligerent and talking like that. We're going to have to talk about that and come up with a way to deal with, as you said, people outside, and we want people to have a good time. Look, I think we all like nationals. I think we all want to have it. And that's one of the reasons we talked about this so much is, man, we have something to look for. We're going to play WhirlyBall in Michigan with all of our friends and all of our extended family in a few months. I mean, finally, after all of this, we have something normal to look forward to. Can we make it 100% safe? No. But how many of us are going to our parents, our sisters, our brothers, our relatives, and not wearing masks the whole time we're there? I bet almost every single one of us. How your friends are coming over, your neighbors. I bet the vast majority of us are not wearing masks around some group of people that are kids, your children at school, and they come home. You are around people like this all the time. I don't think you can make it 100% anywhere. I know currently I have some people that are not directly around me, but they've got it recently. But they didn't get it from the area that I'm in. It came from one was a nurse, another one they don't know where she got. But again, it's a tough situation. There is no way to make this 100%, but I think we can do a pretty good job. We can ask, who's been vaccinated. We can ask all those questions. We can take temperatures. We can sanitize. We can wear masks. We can social distance. We can do everything that we need to do, adjust the schedule in the best way we can, open up the center so people can sit a little farther apart. We want everyone to come. We want to have a good time. We're playing right now, just as Seattle is, just as other centers are. We're out there playing, wearing masks for the most part, all the time. We've already seen some of the difficulties, but I think overall, I think we can do a pretty good job. If I didn't think we could, I would say let's not do this, because I don't want to be the one that said, "Hey, everyone, come to Michigan and play nationals," and someone catches this. We have a super spreader event. There's something ridiculous. I agree with Ben. I don't think it's going to happen at the center, at least not on the court. It's going to happen. We're in someone's room back at the hotel, and that's probably where it's going to happen.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah, that's going to be the hardest part is like nationals is about like getting together and hanging out with everyone and hanging out in this place, that place, or whatever. And that's just going to be like kind of the hardest part of it all is like, you can't get together for those gatherings and stuff. And I think that people are just going to try to do that secretly in mass things. And that's going to be the problem, which is not WhirlyBall's fault at all. It's just going to be players' decision and whatever.
So we talked about that, and really it came down to, do we want to have this event this year? The answer was yes, if people feel comfortable. Can we make it safer? We can make it as safe as we can. Can we keep people from doing stupid stuff? No, we can't keep people from doing stupid stuff. But I think that I hope that it transmits, or it is relaying correctly, that we understand the concerns. We are also concerned. We've talked about all the possibilities. We've talked about, what would be the best thing to do? Should we have this? What are other events doing? We're back in school here. I know other people are having, Tommy, who runs the soccer facilities here, just opened. We're opening up. I mean, so is it 100%? No, but it's as good as we can get it. I'm looking forward to seeing everyone, and I hope everyone can make it. And if there's something we can do to make it better, we will do that. But I don't know what else I can say to ease people's fears other than we understand, and we're trying our best, and we will continue to try our best. We're not just going to be cowboys about this and go, you know what, today we've decided no mask and you guys can have whatever you want and bring 1,000 people and all that stuff. I mean, so we're going to look at what's going on and make a educated and best decision we can based on all the facts and what the mandates.
All right, Clint, interview question.
Yeah.
What's going to be the hardest part about this?
Hardest part is what you said. We're not going to be able to have a completely normal nationals. It's going to be difficult to I still think that even a 50% great time is still something I'm looking forward to.
All right, you're hired.
Tell me about a time. You had a problem with a coworker. What did you do to solve it?
Mustaches don't count, so you're gonna have to shave that off. And we're yeah. Tell us about a time where you dealt with a difficult employee. Coworker.
One time at band camp.
Oh wait,
I got a question.
Wait. Should we have a moment of silence for James Gill's birthday?
No.
Oh, not even a moment of silence.
Happy birthday, Mr. Gill. Happy birthday, sir.
I wished him happy birthday already. We're done with the pleasantries.
F that guy.
Yeah, James who?
Yeah. Who is that? Who are we talking about?
All right.
Yeah.
Well, someone opened their door for him, so.
It's me.
So I did have a question. Clint, are y'all still on every Sunday planning things? The only reason I asked, me and Bill had kind of tossed back and forth about potentially coming up in like April to go to Michigan for a practice. So what I don't want to do is try to set up a time period that doesn't work for you guys. So I'm not sure if y'all are still going to plan to do every week. Or
we have been playing Sunday mornings is what we've been doing. I have some thoughts about maybe some during the week time. If you let me know what time it is, or Gus, we can. The plan right now is we're not going to play on any of the, obviously on Easter or anything like that. Mother's Day is always a tough one. But I mean, for the most part, I think we had 14 practices left if we played all the Sundays except for those couple.
Sounds right.
13, something like that. Yeah, we would. Chicago has come in a couple times, and we've had up to 23 people there at one time so far.
Yeah, my target dates I was looking at was like the 11th of April or the 25th. Was kind of my target dates.
Okay, I'll have to look at the. I don't have my calendar in front of me, but I think those are probably good dates.
Like the 11th, the week after.
Steve, when you're thinking some good dates that we can practice. Oh, you're muted. Never mind.
Well, I'm muted, but I can fucking hear you. Yeah.
Technology.
Yeah, exactly. When can we practice? What do
when
you
can
mean?
Chicago practice again? That's what I want to know. When are they going to? Because I think they're the only place that's still closed, right?
Yeah, as of Monday, I called and they still just have a voicemail saying, we're closed, hoping to open soon. Leave us a message. That's literally all we have here right now.
That's crazy.
I have to imagine it's soon though. I mean, we've got 50% indoor dining. I mean, we're
for sure.
It's kind of weird.
It's crazy. Even this past week, we had a couple people that haven't played for a while. We had Ben Hanna play, and he hadn't played in a year. And you would think that he was a C-level player. He was
wasn't he always?
Shots were off. I don't know, trifecta.
How did you do that, Gus?
Ben Hanna is a B player.
But and then also Adam, he was a D player, but he was a.
Ben Hanna filled in on A and 1.
Mike Wall is a B player.
He filled in on A and 1.
Okay, so everyone knows about Ben Hanna. What I'm saying is he didn't play for a year, and it just affected his game, and so it's going to be interesting with nationals this year, of how it's going to affect everyone that doesn't get the time that practice and play and stuff.
Well, so what you're saying is Ben Hanna looked at the napkins and didn't get that feeling. He didn't look at those napkins and just immediately get that overwhelming I'm an athlete.
No, I think he wiped his sweat off with
he'll be
it.
ready.
Yeah, he just needs 4 games. He only played 2, so.
I think it might just be me. I know people that are worried about not practicing and stuff. I'm an ultra competitive person, so I always take it as if you're not practicing that much, it actually makes it a little more interesting for the tournament. It's a matter of
who's
it's
going to
shake
thing,
that rust off first.
It's almost going to be like a reboot of WhirlyBall. It's going to be this complete change of the game of people that haven't been playing, but how long will it take it to get it back when they start
day
in
2
the tournaments and everything?
That's
right?
Halfway through day 1.
What? James will only shoot 60%.
Yeah, probably. He's only shooting 35% right now, so.
Mm-hmm. I saw David miss once.
But
just once.
Who?
Mr. Bernard, do you?
I've never heard of him.
We don't.
The guy that kicks your ass.
The real DB isn't on right now. Where is he?
He's Ubering or lifting or whatever the hell it is.
He's always doing
he
that.
was
but
helping
yeah,
a friend. He said that before we went live.
Oh, weird.
I don't know if I'm supposed to say that.
Sounds like a lie to me.
I don't know.
A friend.
Yeah, that's what he was driving out.
So Gus, what's the deal with this? Might be the last live.
So okay, so if you weren't here last week, we had some random comment trolls. There was 6 people that were non-WhirlyBall people that were shouting inappropriate things at my chat room. And the thing is that stuck in my head for several days, and it made me think about, should we be public right now? Right now, anyone in the world who's on YouTube, in theory, could be watching this. I thought it was
Yeah,
fun.
because
God, I hope
like
so.
random.
Well, so here's the thing. I could just as easily set this up to stream live to an unlisted link. We share that link. I share that link weekly in the same post as the Zoom call. Just the people that don't have Facebook would be like, what's going on? They don't do that anymore. So, yeah, I don't know. What do you guys think? You think I should just go unlisted, take the Whirly Freak back underground? Because let's face it, I ain't no YouTuber. This was an experiment. We were in lockdown for a couple months, and it's like, hey, let's make the Whirly Freak more of a YouTuber and not just a storage space for games.
I mean, I say just keep it how it is. Just because some randos posted comments, whatever. Like,
No,
I
but it
want to
got-
know what he said. I want to know what those random
bad
comments
press
were.
is still good press.
Yeah.
David
It's not like we're
knows.
breaking any rules, so.
Well, we do a lot, but the thing is no, it means that we could never monetize this channel, and this channel is never meant to be monetized anyway.
Yeah, I mean, all you have to do is put a disclaimer in it.
Right, disclaimer at the beginning.
Just because
Volleyballers
David Bernard's a
swear.
racist doesn't make us all bad.
Right. Well,
8 sexy whirlyballers talking whirlyball. Come join us.
Yeah, when it gets late night whirly balls, all cards are on the deck. So
I think it's kind of fun. I've always thought it was fun to pitch, what do National WhirlyBallers look like? Well, they're just real people that just do other things, and
we're real people.
Yeah, we're just all real people.
We're real people in an environment of which we have to be stuck at home, and we just want to be doing this thing that we love, and we want to talk to the people that we don't talk to, and
the Whirly love.
That's just how it is.
And right now we're sitting in a perfect Brady Bunch 9 block or whatever. Ben is the middle square. He could look up at me.
So Ben is Alice.
Yeah, right. Ben's the maid or whatever. Alice.
I'm just curious who that Andrew guy is, because he doesn't play whirlyball.
I was a troll. I was one of those trolls last week, I guess. I just
joined the YouTube Zoom meetings.
I just joined in because I wanted to see what this baseball stuff is. It's like a side of baseball, whatever you guys are playing. I thought it would be kind of cool. I was wondering if you guys do fantasy leagues.
What's that all about, Marcus?
Amazing.
What the hell is that?
Mark just had a baby.
He used the ladle to pull it out.
So say you're bitching about my kitchenware, and someone's got a kid in the back room.
Hey, me.
Gotta be Gus.
Slim.
I think it's
Slim.
Gus.
Yeah, it's Gus.
No. Why would I have
No, it's Slim because his border is lighting up.
Now everybody's gonna be quiet for no reason.
Yeah, we're all listening. Who's got the baby?
It's just the baby. If there's one thing that people know, I don't have a baby. Who's got a baby?
Who brought the baby? Come on now. Let's be serious.
Ben's at home.
All right, gentlemen. So, any more grilling questions from you guys? I mean, again.
So I was just wondering, are you planning on bringing a tent, or will there be anything for the outside at all, or is everyone
pitching a tent?
Quit the baby crying. Will there be a tent outside?
There was talk about having one and put it up outside of WhirlyBall. There is a someone mentioned that there was a post for bars and that type of thing that could, what would you say, ask the city or fill out a form so that you could do that. You'd have to run a big tent and all of that. to us, I talked about that a little bit, and to me, I think we're opening ourselves up. I know that WhirlyBall players, especially after a few drinks, are always the quietest bunch and the most considerate of the neighbors at WhirlyBall, and I'm sure none of them would do anything that would offend or
we should
cause
invite
a problem.
The whole block to the party.
Right, because the WhirlyBall neighbors seem to be very friendly.
We'll just do a Zoom
so I can
between,
actually shed some
tournament.
light on this subject, because for 2015, I sent all that information to Carrie about what it would take to open up the parking lot to have outdoor drinking. It's $100 permit. It's cheap, and she never did.
Well,
so now we're asking if Doug would do that for us.
Well, there's been an update. It was Jeremy posted that link, and there's some new things to it. It's actually, I think he's even cheaper now. The question is, honestly, if we do that, are we kind of putting a big bullseye on ourselves?
Yeah, a bit, right? There's still regulations to do it outside, right? So, who's going to control it and man it?
If we have a big tent up, we're going to draw a lot of attention. Oh, what's going on over there?
Let's do that.
Well, you don't even need a tent. I mean, you don't. You just need to have a blocked off area, right? So it's not that it needs to be so.
Let's get a hot air balloon.
But we're talking about WhirlyBall, that we need to have someone that's going to organize it, and I don't know that someone will. So as much as I would think that would be great, I just don't think that it'll happen.
Let's call the local Boy Scout troop.
I think there's pluses and minuses to it. We're going to look into it and see, if it helps us, we'll look into it. If not, well, again, you have to fill out some forms. It has to be approved by the city. It's a big deal. I know, Ben, you looked at it. I know there's some updated things you need, but it's probably very similar. Our facility is pretty big, depending on if we have 20 teams or 25 teams, maybe that makes a difference. I don't know.
I think it's always better to ask for forgiveness than permission, and you just do it the week of, and if it gets closed down, it's not WhirlyBall's responsibility. It's somebody else's, and because they don't own the parking lot. So, but it didn't happen in 15 after we did the whole barbecue in the parking lot in Seattle in 14. So I don't see why it would, the parking lot would be a huge gathering place. Again, in at the center, when the center is so big.
You mean like in Seattle, where they were doing the fists and smoking the pot and having the catches and all that? all that? I mean, I don't remember any of that either, but I think was there 50 bottles of liquor in the parking lot when we were done, and the cops came through?
A good time.
Yeah.
It was, but the cops came through after it was finished, right? So luckily. Well, but what I'm saying is that the next year when we did that, when we thought maybe it would happen in Novi, it never did, because it's big enough. There's enough people in the center. Obviously, with COVID, it's different, but.
Yeah, I think we'll look into it. I mean, it was brought up here just recently. We could look into it and see. We'll talk about it, but
people could definitely see being outside as a reason not to wear their mask, especially if they're drinking.
But isn't that where you want them to do that? Is spaced out outside?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, for sure.
I feel like it could cause problems, especially with Elkie.
Especially if you want to kiss other people. I mean,
I have a
what?
curiosity question. It may only pertain to Texas, because I just thought about it today. So I have at least one D-eligible player who may have to play C. Given the circumstances, I would assume it'd be case by case. Would that person still potentially be eligible for D if they have to play C? Given, say we just don't have a D division, say there's just not enough people, but there's enough for C and above. Would there be? I'm just more curious. Would be?
I'd say yes, unless he wins. But that's just my personal opinion.
I would say it would be on a case by case basis, because you have a person that comes in who's all of a sudden a average or better than average C player, even though he's a D, and he does very well, and then he gets another year of practice, and you put him with the next 4 best players. I think it's a case by case basis, to be honest with you. I don't think you can say that for anyone. I mean, if the person wants to play, obviously we want everybody, but I think you have to go case by case basis. You have enough people there that know. I mean, if the guy's a deep player, you guys will know it, right? I mean,
is he a C-level talent or a D-level talent, Doc?
He's a C-level shooter, but he's a one-trick pony. He shoots.
Depends how bad they are.
The other stuff's not there. So that's more why I like to say he's going to look really good at times, and then he's going to look a little rough at times because he's very streaky. So it was just more of my D team basically imploded the day. Thanks, Carter.
So that made me think of a question. Clint, are double dips going to be treated any differently this year than any previous years, since turnout might be a little lower?
Don't know. I don't have any clue. I would think we would. This is what I always tell people. Let's plan on not double dipping, and then at the very last minute, if someone drops or something like that, to plan on double dipping.
Yeah. I think that's you're now. Well, it's like double dipping can be okay if the need arises, but if the plan is that let's make the need arise, there's going to be double dippers, right? So I guess that's my question.
What if there's not enough D teams? Can I?
Well, Ben, we haven't talked about it, so I mean,
we haven't, but I think that it's a good question to have, because if we're thinking of the number of teams being in the low 20s rather than high 20s and 30s, the idea that double dippers might be more needed this year, or are we going to make more of an exception this year rather than we've made in the past?
I can tell you from the scheduling standpoint, it's always tough with double dippers with seeding games, and then when you run the tournaments and this player's playing here and he can't play there, they win. The D player that was going to play C won the D tournament. Now he's going from the winning D team and he has to play on the C team, and you have all of those issues, and it's only amplified the more it happens. It's tough. It happens every single year. I mean, again, the centers that back in, obviously this is an odd year, but they start in January. Say, okay, this person's going to double dip. Well, let's just plan on not double dipping and make that a last ditch thing, because we know. To say, oh, there's no double dipping no matter what, we know that's not going to be true, but it's probably not going to be true. So I would just say,
you could say that. You can say no double dipping and make that happen. It's not like it's something that can't be done, right?
Right.
You can say that there is no double dipping.
Right, but we all know that when it comes down to it's 3 days, 4 days before the tournament, and
how do you right?
Or so someone comes down with something the night before, and they're on their way already. What are we gonna do? No, you guys can't play. I mean, I just think planning on having a double dipper is the problem. I think there are certain circumstances where it makes sense to do that, but it's not very often, and it's not for every other team. I mean, the one year I think we had 9 double dippers. I mean, that's crazy.
Yeah, which is that there's no way that was because 9 people couldn't show, right? I mean, that was planned. Right. It was planned that way, right?
Yeah.
Because I think in 2015 we had 1 or 2, and that's pretty good. I think if we can limit it to that, I think that's fine. But this year is different too. I mean, that's why I'm asking. I mean, would it be reasonable to think that maybe this year we aren't as resolute on no double dippers because of?
Well, I would think that if Seattle called us and said we have 9 A players and we can't get a 10th, or this person dropped out at the last minute, we have 1 B guy that wants to go up and play here, hey, I think we would probably say yes. I mean, we have to talk about it. We'd have to go through all the committee stuff and all that, but I would think we'd probably end up saying yes. But if they did that in a normal year in January, February, we'd say, come on, you've got X number of months to find a player and all that stuff. But so I think the circumstances, I think we'll just be reasonable. I think that's the bottom line, right? I mean, we don't want double dipping. Nobody wants double dipping. But if we have to, then we have to. And I think you don't plan for it. I think you don't say right now, double dipping's allowed or not allowed, because if we say it's not allowed, it might even come back to bite our own center, right? I mean, it's possible. It's happened.
That would be awful. If Michigan would have to double dip this year, that would.
Is there anyone in this meeting right now that doesn't plan on playing?
I'm not playing.
I'm not.
And Andrew. Yeah.
Pussy.
You talking to me?
That's me.
Yeah, I'm talking to you.
Well, I've had family members die of this shit, so I'm not taking that risk. So if that makes me a pussy, then so be it.
Get your vaccine. What's your workout?
It doesn't matter if I have. Yeah, it doesn't matter if I have a vaccine or not. I'm still not playing. I'm not putting myself or my family in any type of harm's way. And I'm not considered an essential worker, even though I work at a college campus.
Oh, that's cool. I was just messing with you, though.
Yeah. So, yeah, I have no thought in my head of playing at all this year. So.
And that's your prerogative, man. If that's how you feel, and it's perfectly understandable.
Indeed.
Well, I think we've all been affected. I bet we've all been affected in some way, and I completely understand why you feel that way.
Clint, the only other question I had right now is in regards to the safeguards and the different precautions that you're going to be setting up, requiring, however you want to phrase it. Do you have a potential timetable as to when you guys are going to be disseminating that information to those who are planning on attending this year?
Well, again, we're going to go by with what it says in Michigan and Novi, and what the regulations are. What those are going to be in June, I don't know. What is your regulations going to be there in June?
Well, I mean, we're obviously doing like the minimum, like the mask, the temperature checking and stuff. But I mean, in terms of like the food, for instance, I don't think we'll be doing buffet style. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yes, it'll be buffet. We're only going to give 2 forks.
But no, I mean, that's what I mean. Those little things those little things that aren't necessarily covered by what the state is mandating or the county or whomever, the little things that you guys are planning to do to try and make this as safe as possible.
Anything we can do to make it as safe as possible here, with food, with prizes, with even group pictures and that kind of thing. We'll do everything we can do to make it as safe as possible. We're going to take the conservative approach to most of that, and I mean, if not all of it, and do whatever we can do. I mean, obviously, you can't do a buffet style. It's not even allowed, I don't think, at this time for sure. But we will have some type of food, whether how we're going to prepare that and what the exact circumstances are, we have not talked about. But we do recognize that this is important, and that there are a lot of other factors. As Ben pointed out earlier, I don't think the problem is going to be on the court. We'll have masks on. We'll wipe the carts down. We'll do all those things. We'll ask people to sanitize, social distance. And as far as the food, where we can sit at the bar, what areas are open, how many people we have at the center at the same time, we'll address all of those things. But you can't. It's impossible.
I understand you don't have that. Yeah, I understand you don't have those answers at this time. That's why I was asking if you have like a potential timetable where you'll have all those thoughts together and you'll be able to present, all that information to everybody. And if you don't, it's fine.
So I think, Steve, you're asking what the guidelines are going to be in the future, which we don't know. But maybe what we can do is come up with what the guidelines are now. so you know what we're under currently, and then we'll move from there. I guess right. I mean, I don't know that I don't think we can speculate on what the future holds, but I think we can tell you what the guidelines are now and what has to be followed at WhirlyBall. Does that make sense?
I would add to that we will take into consideration all of those concerns. We do understand the concerns. We do understand that people are afraid they're going to catch COVID. We understand that. We understand that the issues with masks. We understand with social distancing. We understand food preparation. We understand people drinking. I mean, I think the big thing to take out of this is we don't have the details. We can't tell you this is the specific it's going to be. What we can tell you is that we do understand, and we will make it as safe as we can. The guidelines that we have at that time, I would think, a week before? I mean, that's I would think sounds pretty reasonable, unless there's some big change in that week. But I mean, before people get here, we'll put out what the guidelines are, and have that down. But like Ben said, we can tell you what they are right now, but I can't tell you what they're going to be. And for example, in the last 2 days, we went from 25% to 50% capacity. So, I mean, we didn't know that as of a week ago. Does that help at all?
Yeah.
I think Steve's just
I'm
looking for like the full worst circumstances and just looking for
worst. I guess so. I mean, worst case,
versus best
and this
case.
is, I guess, it's just not me particularly. I mean, there's a number of people who have said, "Well, I'm curious to know what guidelines."
He's asking for other people.
Yeah, what guidelines are? I don't know if I'm going to go and I won't make a decision until I know exactly what the guidelines are going to be and what they're going to do.
Unfortunately, not everyone will get on these Zoom meetings and they come to us and ask us questions. And so we're asking just the most obnoxious
Steve
questions.
Calls you and asks you what you think.
Yeah, and I get tired of it all the time.
Yeah.
Like when we're cuddling, he's like, "What do you think?" And
is he rattling those fucking pans when he's doing it?
Yes, all the time.
And he has a child in the background who's crying.
Yeah, there's always a baby crying in the background when I'm like, "Hey, what's this going on?" And he's like, "I don't know." And then the baby will start crying, and it's really weird and obnoxious. So
sounds like every WhirlyBall player I know.
Yeah. I guess Clinton, in my ideal, if I was running the show, God heaven forbid, right? But I just looking at if I were planning this, I would say, okay, by April, I want to plan. I want to know if we're going to have the tent idea, if we're going to, or the canopy, whatever you want to call it. I want to know if we're going to have a beer garden setting outside. I want to know exactly how food is going to be served. Is it going to be individualized? Are there going to be food trucks?
I will answer your questions this way. I will answer your questions this way. Hold on. 2 weeks before Nationals, what are you guys going to do at your center for practice?
Yeah.
What specifically? Hold on. What specifically are you guys doing 2 weeks before Nationals? Are you going to have to wear a mask? Are you going to be able to drink? What are you wearing? What are you doing specifically 2 weeks ahead of time?
Ideally, what we're doing now.
Well, ideally, it would be better than what you have now, right?
Well, I mean, you could argue that, but
what he's saying is he wants to give the best answers he can give to the moment before we go to Nationals.
He's just saying that people want to outline.
I understand that.
They understand that things will change, so it's like, can we kind of create an outline for them based on if things stay the same or if things get better,
Because if you can change things for the better, then absolutely. But then again, I get your point, Clint. It's like, why go all in when you don't have to? I mean, why go all out, and do overkill on preparation if you don't have to, based on the information you don't have.
Here's the problem. Right now, if I say, for example, well, we're going to mandate double masks right now, and then we get to the point and the COVID has lessened and we're down to a 1% or something, and we go, okay, well, we've changed our mind. We're only going to have one mask now. Then those people that would prefer we wear 2 masks are going to say, well, wait a minute, you said. So based on what we say is a requirement, we're going to be held to that in many things, because whatever requirements we put out now are going to be based on the current situation or something that we are aware of. We can't, if it gets worse, we're going to have to do crazy things. Like there can only be, 25 people at the center.
Yeah. Like right now, if you're like, now it's 1 mask, and then like 2 weeks later it picks up, and you're like, all of a sudden now I got 2 masks, and then people are like, wait, what about the 1 mask? Like
that's not happening.
Everything's back and forth.
Who has a double mask mandate right now? I know people are saying they wear.
I don't think I don't believe there is a double mask mandate. It's just there's been recommendations, but there's no mandate.
Brad Elkey told me that he is requiring people to wear double masks.
No. It was versus certain. It was worded differently.
He told me that he's making people wear double masks unless it was if it's a cloth mask, they had to wear a double mask. He told me that himself.
No, it was like the pull-up masks, like those like ones Gator. That people wear on their neck. The
Gators.
But he's making people wear double ones, right?
No, we're not. No, not at all.
Okay, well that's changed here in the last week and a half.
That's what I'm saying is like whatever you say now, people are always going to reflect on what you say now, and I completely understand that. So like, it's hard to make all the decisions right now until like maybe two weeks before or something, where you can be like, here what's going on. I understand thing. I understand people want like guidelines and outlines, but like for the most part, like people should respect masks are going to happen. The only thing I guess is like, how is food going to happen is probably one of the biggest questions, because everything else makes sense. I mean, it's just a matter of how do you do food?
Go ahead,
based
Bill.
on what we've always done, I guess.
Yeah, there's only like 3 or 4 things. I mean, I'm oversimplifying it. That people are wondering: are we going to have to wear a mask? And you could make that decision now. I mean, the double masking thing sounds crazy, right? But you could say, look, even if they say that it's mostly open and people are booking flights and everybody's making work arrangements and time off.
I guess you can say that for like,
no, wait. I didn't interrupt anybody else for half an hour here.
Sorry, Bill.
You could say right now, if you wanted to, it's going to be a masked nationals. You could do that, not a double mask or whatever else. And even if they say, hey, we don't think you need them, if that makes people feel better or not, but everybody still has. Most of us know that things are trending in a better direction. We know that more vaccines are going to happen. We know that more people are going to get like food, maybe, but you don't even have to, right? Like if you don't like how they're serving food, I can go. I'm sure the people that don't like that still go through drive-throughs and everything else, or go to the store and pick stuff up and eat it in their room. Like that's probably not the reason you're not making $1,000 investment. Is how is the food going to be served there or whatnot? Like I don't think some of that. I think some of that's kind of trivial. I do.
Well,
food at WhirlyBall is so good. Why wouldn't she want to eat it?
Yeah, I mean,
well, Bill, if you're paying for it, Bill.
How dare you?
Hey, Glenn. I say just throw a mask in their goodie bag. Buy them all in N95 masks, put them in their goodie bags, tell them, give them a Sharpie to write their name on them. And if they lose them or if you see them somewhere, they can't play.
I'm just going to eat at the big boy.
They can't play.
I mean, what's nationals? Do we know what the fee is going to be this year, give or take?
$850.
Yeah,
per person.
Per person.
$180.
Per
It's
day.
probably the
Per
same.
day.
I doubt that it's
per day. 850 per day.
I don't remember. Was it?
I think it was 180 at a certain point, and then 190 or something.
Here's the deal: if you guys say that it's $200, and I don't get any food, I still don't give a shit. I'm still coming, and I'm spending $200 to play whirlyball for 4 days. So.
Fuck off, Bill.
Yeah, get the fuck out of
There
here.
you go. Done.
How dare you not be difficult?
You're the only one.
Gus, mute Steve again. No.
No, mute everyone. Actually, mute Bill. He's the only one that's going to pay $200 and not get fed.
He said he didn't care. We can charge you more. I heard him say it.
Pay
No,
him
I don't know about
$200.
that,
He's not going to get fed, and he's.
I might double dip too.
And Mark must really like that whirlyball food. He comes to Nationals just to eat.
Yeah, I mean, I want to be fed, but again, I don't think
this is pretty good.
The decision on how the food's going to be distributed is the biggest reason that people are
Oompa Loompas. I want my food to be brought out by Oompa Loompas. I have to sing a song about the last game that just happened, and it has to
If you
rhyme.
wear that hat and have a few more drinks, you will be an Oompa Loompa.
Yeah. Once weed's implemented into the price line, then yes, you will get that Oompa Loompa song.
So I gotta take off, you guys. But Steve, this is what I want. We have people who are on both ends of the spectrum. People who are super conservative, and you have the opposite end. Some people who don't want to wear masks at all. And I don't know how you appease both of those. I don't think you can. I think the only thing I can go back to is we have been following what the guidelines are here. They are very similar to what you guys are doing. Your state is mandating there. Your area is mandating there. And based on the last year, we are always on the conservative side here. I mean, it's a joke, right? The governor and all that stuff, but we will follow that.
Well,
lead.
Isn't that what? Like, isn't that one of those things where you just feel like, for the safety of everyone, can't we just
later?
Yeah, you do.
Can't you just say for the sake of say you just want to say for the safety of everyone, let's just do masks for this year?
Well, again, I can't imagine us not wearing them, but if all of a sudden it was magically gone, which it's not going to be, I mean, we're going to have to wear masks. The only way we wouldn't wear masks is if they came out and said it's all gone and it's set. That's not going to happen.
You are a governor, aren't you?
Well, you want me to make a statement that says, well, Clint said we're doing this, and I can't say that because
but isn't that just best for the safety of everyone?
Isn't what best the safety for everyone? What would be best is to cancel it and have it next year.
Oh, you don't like that option, Mark? Oh.
Well, if
suck it up, bitch.
If you really
no. I'm saying he can say he can say he can cancel it, but he won't say it's better for the safety that we wear masks. So it is
better.
It's
Even if before COVID, if we don't have COVID and we just have flus and everything, it's still better to wear a mask.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can wear a mask if you want to.
In theory, it would be better if we wear a mask from now until we die because it would minimize a risk to everything.
Yeah. People have been wearing masks for years, and we were all laughing at them. And then
the
who was
Asians were
laughing
always
when
wearing
everybody
masks.
started dying?
I want to mandate that
They were so
masks
cool.
are worn at every Nationals forever.
Yeah, because
That's
someone
what I want.
sneezed on me.
I think that goalies should have special masks like in hockey that differentiate them from the rest of the team.
We should have a best
I
mask
like it.
award.
A best mask
Best
contest.
mask award.
By the way,
Yeah.
for you, I love and support you, and I believe in everything that is you. So
I know what you guys are asking. I know the people you're asking for. What I want to say is all the things that make those people feel safe.
I know, and that's
comfortable.
the hard part. It's everyone
can't-
gets the right answers, and you
I
can't do
can't give that answer that they need to hear. The answer they need to hear is yes, this is mandated. Yes, we're not going to do this. Yes, we're going to have meet the ultra conservative or more. Let me rephrase that. The more conservatives have a need to feel comfortable and safe before they're going to come, and I want them to feel safe and comfortable by telling them that we will follow the guidelines that are here. They have been conservative consistently all the way through. That is not going to change, and we will follow those guidelines. I can't tell you it's going to be a specific this or that, or not this or this, or this is what we're going to do. We will make that determination as we get closer. It will be on the conservative side, I guarantee it, because that is the only thing we can do. So I want to tell you what there's certain people I know that are looking for these answers, and there's just no way we can give those answers. Not specific.
95% chance we have to wear masks and there's no buffet. I mean, that's realistic, right?
I would say 99%.
And that's what they want to know anyway. So I think, I mean,
here's the
probably
real question.
It has to happen.
A year ago, or if we were playing in June, hypothetically last year, you could have had to have a mandated 14-day quarantine when you landed anywhere. Would you want to schedule your time to give yourself 3 weeks off to quarantine when your plane landed and then play some whirly ball? That's
3-week tournament.
That's the real question people need to be asking. That's all I'm saying.
Only if you feed me.
Did anybody else see that Brad's creeping in the room? He's got no video on.
I see Brad down there.
Brad, let's.
Yeah, but he's quiet. He's got he's muted.
It's probably not even him. He just put the name on there.
It's somebody.
It's somebody else.
Somebody.
It's like witness protection.
Yeah. Clint, I just want to say, I appreciate everything you're trying to do and to make it happen, because I miss it, and I think a lot of people miss it. We're just all just in the midst of confusion and just want the best for everyone, And I appreciate you're doing the best you can, and thank you for that.
I came on because I know people have questions, and I'm trying to quell or make people feel better that they can come, but some people aren't going to feel better, and I don't want to make promises that we can't keep. I don't want to say this is going to happen and that's going to happen specifically, because I don't know. No one knows. But I can say that we're going to be as safe as we can be with it. We're going to follow the guidelines that are told to us. We've been on the conservative side. I've said it 3 times. I don't know what else to say. I mean, I just
do. I did it. Did it. Don't. Did it. Do. Play whirly or die. That's what the whirly freak said to do.
I mean, it all comes down to people either choose to come and they won't. That's literally what
we want everyone to come. We're going to be as safe as we can be, and we're going to follow the guidelines here. And
Oakland County is pretty strict, right? I mean, we're the most strict health department, I think.
Yeah, I mean it's.
I mean, you got a wizard on your side, so you got that going on. He'll protect us all.
Clint, yeah, I'll just echo what Mark says. No, we definitely all appreciate what you're doing and your insight. And like I said, I ask these questions not just for myself but for everybody, because they're curious, they're wondering, and like Mark said, in this time of confusion, people are just thinking worst case scenario and what's going to happen, and they just want answers. But like you said, they have to recognize that you don't have all the answers right now, and that you're going to do everything. You're not going to be irresponsible and run this very lackadaisical, non-safe tournament. My question essentially was, if you had specifics and if you did not, when you'd have them. But like I said, if you don't have that right now and you can't have that right now, then that's a good answer. That is the answer.
Well, I'm being honest. I'm just trying to be honest. And let me also point out, this is not just me. I'm just a part of this. And we've got a number of people here involved that are making this decision. This is not just me. This is a group of us that are actively speaking and talking and making sure that we understand and we have all ideas. This is not just me. I will be the face and I'll take the brunt, and that's fine. But
wait, you're not Mr. WhirlyBall?
Oh, that's Gus.
Oh no. Oh yeah, he is the whirly freak. You're just Clint.
Yeah.
Why the fuck are we talking to you? Anyways, whirly freak, what are you gonna do to make the policies better for this coronavirus?
Everyone has
a free donkey for every player. It will haul your stuff to your hotel, the one that Ben has just down the road.
All in.
That's a lot of donkeys. Damn it.
I mean, guys, we talked about it. The big thing was, we want something to look forward to. We had to cancel this thing. We were very excited about it. We were planning on 32 teams. We thought we could get 32 teams.
It was
we were going to make this thing like, as great as ever and monster teams. We talked about having to start this thing on Tuesday because there was going to be so many teams. I mean, we had lots of things planned. We were starting.
There's almost going to be 2 weekends, like WrestleMania.
Yeah, we started a year ahead of time. We were very disappointed when we had cancels. I mean, it was extremely disappointing, but we had to, and everyone knows why. But now, with the fact that the requirements are lessening, and that you have sports gatherings of all types, whether it's professional or kids soccer or whatever, they're all back and they're going. I mean, and the fact that the poll showed that the interest is there, high interest numbers, and we will follow and be conservative here and just be as safe as we can be. You're never going to be 100%. I defy anyone that says they are to tell me that they haven't talked to anyone without a mask, they haven't gone any place, they haven't done anything that put themselves in harm's way. I find that to be impossible.
Clint, one last question.
Yeah.
Is this your last season?
My last season? I'm not done.
Is this your last year?
No.
He's not one of those guys.
No,
like,
yeah.
You're talking
Clint,
about Sam Kim.
No, Clint's.
Okay.
James.
I'm just asking.
You're not going anywhere.
Frank Myers.
I think that people that say that, I don't know. I don't know how you know that. I mean, I guess if you get to the point where
that's the best answer ever. If you're saying like you don't know, that's the best answer ever.
No, I didn't say
I don't know.
I said no.
I know, no. Because like when you're like, I don't know how people say they know. That's that.
I don't know.
That's the best answer ever. Is like, because one day you might say like, you know. So right now
I will
tell you. Don't know. Like
I will tell you that I'm not as passionate about it as I once was. I will tell you that
it can come back, and it'll be a movie. It'll be like how Clint got his groove back.
It was like watching Dave's dog lick his face. No, I think
no.
that,
Look, within the last year, like I've lost so much. Like you're just trying to grasp on things when you're not playing. You're trying to. This Zoom thing is like one of those things that like helps grasp the fact that how much you love WhirlyBall when you're not being able to play. Within that and like not doing the podcast and stuff at the moment, like we're trying to find moments of like how are we grasping on the sport. So like I was just asking, just like
no, I
you still got fuel.
Yeah, I will tell you that when we play on Sundays, Sunday nights and Monday mornings are rough, like really rough. And
yeah, like we hadn't played since October, and the first time we played,
2
like
weeks,
my thighs were burning.
Yeah, I hurt for 3 days. I couldn't hardly walk on Monday. People thought I had something wrong. They're like, "Do you need to go home?" I go, I just don't need to take any stairs right now. I mean,
every time I had to bend down for something, like
I mean,
and people are like, "What?" I'm like, "You don't even know how bad it is." Like, sure, it's in a bumper car, but you don't understand like how much.
I tell people
your body you put into that.
Come on out and play for about 3 hours.
Yeah, exactly.
Let me know how you feel the next day.
Yeah,
put them in the slow car every game. And tell them they have to move their weight.
It won't even matter.
Like float, float or play defender. Like just.
Oh, you're just out there in the bumper car. Yeah, that's all we do.
No, it's amazing how much leg work you put into it.
And I've found this over the years.
The ones
the
that
more
really
the taller the person, the more difficult it is on your legs. And to be honest, the more defense you play, the more goalie or more.
Yeah, look how white Gus has gotten in the past 5 years.
Yeah, that's all muscle. That's all muscle.
That's all goalie.
Yes.
All muscle.
Do you know I'm a shoo-in for the ringer team because I'm the only goalie in the C division?
Oh.
Wait, I'm not a goalie. Yes,
no, I'm
finally.
talking about Michigan club.
Oh,
We've been putting Steve
So
in the goalie
close.
position. I don't know if you've been watching, but Steve's been being put in the goalie position. It's not good, but he's been.
That seems to work out perfect for us.
He's got to learn sometime.
When people look at the top 5 C players, I come in a solid 4.5.
I'm like 17th.
Man, the beer's empty.
All right, gentlemen. I apologize for not being able to be specific, and I.
No,
you were great.
Thank you for
you answered a
just
lot of questions.
answering the best that you can.
Yeah.
So
Clint,
we talked
fuck off,
about.
Clint.
Some people said about, why don't you set the schedule up now so that you do. Someone suggested D and C on just Thursday and Friday, and have this on Saturday. And at this point, we don't know how many teams we have.
Right.
We don't
How can
know
you
who's
set
coming.
aside time for D division?
We will talk about all of that, and we will make a decision that makes sense and follows all the guidelines.
You could show up the day before, and we could tell you the schedule the day of.
Is there a
that's
date
how it will
where you
matter.
guys need
That's how much it matters.
teams specifically?
We have not set a minimum number of teams, and we have not set a date to get those. Typically,
March 4th.
at 3:00.
Yeah.
We
But at least maybe if you set that, then it might put things faster in motion or something.
I would say sometime in May would be good, right?
Okay, so I'll give you guys the dirty secret. We never know, even in a normal year, how many teams we're going to have. It's true. I'm just telling you guys. It always starts out at there's 40 teams, and then and usually a week before we get a team or two drop. So I mean, we'll have. What I typically do is get a hold of the main people at the centers and say, "Hey, what do you have?" And I mean, I can probably make a pretty conservative estimate.
Wait, Clint, what's the makeup date that we should tell them by, so we can start making a D team?
June 22nd through 24th.
Okay.
The makeup day. We're gonna start at 3 instead of starting at noon.
But so we just need a D team.
Because if you think about it, wait a minute. If you think about it, that 3 hours, how many more people could get the vaccine?
I'd say just try to get a solid 5 people that are gun ho and just hold on to them. That's all you need to do.
I would think in the next, let's see, March, April. I would think by
into April, right? I mean,
I would think end of April have a real good idea.
Yeah, it's probably a good idea.
Yeah, end of April, I would think we'd have a real good idea.
I got 2 guys. I got 2 guys for a Michigan D team. 2.
I mean, because like I said before,
Vern and Shane.
Ben was talking about starting up Tuesdays again, so at least maybe we can try to push them to do it faster, and we can get some teams on the D side going.
For you guys are the hardest. You guys are the hardest because it costs the most money. That's the simple fact. You can't drive here. Cleveland, Chicago can drive. Even Atlanta can drive.
I mean, it's just a matter of also just then we can go if say Tuesdays open up. Us Monday night players, like the previous years, would go to Tuesday nights and amp it up and just get them motivated and that type of shit. And sometimes we go on the court and help them out and show them, and that's what gets them going. So it's a matter of we want to get out there and help. For one, make sure that Tuesdays start going, and then 2, going out there and motivating those guys.
We initially had 3 D teams. We had we were near 3 D teams way back when.
Oh shit! Last year I think we were gonna have 3 D teams. I
hear that every year. And
Tuesdays were
we had 16 of them. We had 16 D teams.
Yeah, we had 22. I don't fuck you. We had more than we had anything else. It was gonna be crazy.
As long as there's just 2 D teams, I'll be happy, because that's all you need for the drinking game.
We'll have one, so somebody else fill the other.
All right. So we got.
I think we'll probably end with 4 or 5 is my guess.
Steve, we have to have some commentary for a tournament where we're telling people, the watchers at home, to play along and post the drinking game rules on the screen.
Yeah.
For those of you playing at home, whoever, show the rules.
We're bringing the podcast equipment one way or another.
It's going to be fun. So, I have a few things on my checklist still to buy.
Yeah, so you have to set up everything else, and we'll bring our equipment, and then we'll make it happen.
So, Mark, you had left already, but I was talking with Noah about what if he flew us to nationals, and he said he'd have to do some math to see if we could fit all the equipment and stuff, but he said he'd be down for that. He's like, it'd take a bit longer, but I was like, that'd be fucking cool.
Yeah.
I mean, Noah has his own aircraft?
He works for Boeing.
Yes. Well, I know he works there, but...
Noah has access to his own aircraft.
That's pretty rad.
Wicked.
I have access to Google, and I can buy plane tickets.
That's too much work.
And it takes about half the time.
But there's no bonding experience.
Yeah. What in the world?
That's what you want. That's what you want right now, is to be trapped in a small airplane with 3 other dudes. I got you.
We've never traveled together.
Pegasus.
Let me guess. You guys are going to mandate that right now for 3 masks?
We're going to triple mask it.
Yeah.
Well, what are you guys going to do? I need to know right now. Because if you're going to be coming that way, I got a plan for it. Because we're saying anyone that flies in personally, we have to have them get a shot.
I got to laugh because that's what y'all do sound like.
I thought you were leaving, Clint.
No. Oh, sorry. I apologize.
Yeah. You answered the question.
Maybe I'll see you again soon.
Yeah, I think we're going to triple mask it, and then...
I'm just kidding. Guys, I'm just kidding. I mean, it's not a joke. It's just... What else do you do? I mean, it's terrible. It's freaking terrible. We can't do what we want to do. We can't go to freaking restaurants. We can't do all that crap. I mean, we get it. I mean, everyone understands. It just sucks, but let's make the best of it, and we'll do everything we can do, and we'll have a good time, and hope for the best and plan for the worst.
Well, and just one last note, Clint. It's heaven forbid if something were to happen, if someone were to catch it. This community, we're there for each other. It's not gonna be like, oh well, Timmy got COVID. Fuck him. Sorry to hear that.
I like your specific guy you chose. That's
hilarious. No one likes Timmy anyway. So.
Yeah, that sounds good to me.
Fuck Timmy, man.
But yeah, I mean, so yeah, shit happens, and yeah, I mean, we can do everything we can to make it as safe as possible. But like Clint said, it's not 100%. So, yeah.
There are some people. I mean, we just heard Andrew earlier. He has concerns. He went through something that obviously has affected him deeply. I understand. Again, I think all of us have friends or family and coworkers that have gone through this, and I completely understand where he's at. I don't feel exactly the way he does, but I understand why he does, and I don't fault him for any of that. But
no,
I think that we can, do a pretty good job, and we can have a good time.
Well, and that's just it too. Is people who are thinking that, well, this is they're being, they're not compromising, and they're just putting their foot down and stuff. It's I mean, to a certain degree, that is the case. But if you're not comfortable, that's on you. And you got to do what's best for you. If you don't feel safe, regardless of, what Michigan is doing, following every state mandate or county mandate, whomever, putting these safety guidelines in, if you still don't feel comfortable, well, you know what? I mean, we'll respect your decision, but you know what? Don't vilify Michigan for doing, the best that they can with, the guidelines that they're given.
I mean, okay, let's talk about this. So we had nationals in Seattle, and we didn't want it certain dates, and we had to have a big, huge conversation. There was a mega argument about it, and that was over when we had nationals. And we couldn't get specific times. We were told specific things. A lot of people were. We got through it. We made it. It's a little different situation, but anyone who says that Michigan is putting their foot down and Michigan is doing whatever, no, I don't agree with that. We are saying the community in general feels comfortable with this based on the poll and based on people we talk to. We're going to do our best to make it as safe as possible, and we're going to follow the guidelines. We're not putting our foot down at all. We're saying, yes, we are not putting this up for a vote to say who wants it in June 1st, who wants it July 2nd. There are a lot of limiting factors that keep it to certain dates here, things behind the scenes that are a problem. So people who feel like we are putting our foot down or not being flexible, we've had a lot of discussion. You have to pick a time, you have to see who's interested, and you have to go from there. I don't know how else to do it.
There you have it.
You're treating it fair.
Yep.
Yeah, no matter what, you'll never be right or wrong within this moment. So you just got to do what's best for the opportunity.
Yeah, I completely understand people that don't want to come. I do. I think all of us do. Does anyone not understand? I don't think that's the case. It's just a matter of.
I think we all completely understand. And I think that's why we're also on this meeting, is because we understand and we care about it. Steve, don't be like me and pretend that you have headphones on.
Bunch of fakers.
Yeah, see how nothing's connected? Look, there's no wires.
I actually need these headphones to hear you guys.
No, it's just like.
Whoa, I can't hear
you. I think we all just care about the situation or anything, and unfortunately, we're the ones that get on here, and you're the one on here at the moment, so we're the ones that have to ask the questions to answer to everyone else.
I completely understand.
But for the most part, we believe in that, and we believe in what you're doing, and we believe that you're going to do the best that you can for the safety of all of us, because obviously you care about us.
And again,
we know you. You're. It's not like you're some random person being like, I want to do the best for you. We fucking know that you care about us.
Like you said, it's not just him. It's a collective group of people in Michigan.
Yeah. And you're Clint. That puts a lot of emphasis on a lot of things, and
negative or positive.
Yeah.
He's the emperor of WhirlyBall.
All negative.
I hear you.
Once everything happens afterwards, that's when we start complaining.
Hey, if people didn't complain, I wouldn't know what to do.
File all complaints with the Whirly Freak.
Say once again, we're going to postpone. Everyone's going to complain that you didn't try, you didn't put any precautions. There's so much that you could have done.
I remember when
putting out there and
when we canceled last year. There was a huge outcry. Oh, it's too soon. James Gill was like, "Oh, why are you canceling so soon?"
Then he got caught COVID.
Yeah, and then he got COVID. It's fuck. I mean, it's a weird time, right? I mean, we're doing what we can, right? I mean,
yeah, we were damned when we did, and damned when we don't.
Yes.
So we should have just played last year. That's what you're saying.
Yeah.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
Good idea, Ben.
I think that's what you said. Yeah.
That's what ever said.
That's how I feel about the last night of my winter tournament that never happened for beginner leagues.
I'm pretty sure we won that.
Yeah, I just think that we ask questions, we respect answers.
Oh, guys, I completely appreciate it. What I really want to do is make people comfortable to feel like they are receiving the answers that they want, but I think they're asking loaded questions. The question is, are you going to have double masks? What they're really saying is, I'm not coming unless you have double masks, right? I mean, it's not, And I keep going back to that. It's
And
not
like
the
that should
thing.
be like our own thing. Like if they feel that way, be like, if you feel more comfortable wearing double masks,
No one's
wear
stopping
a
you.
double mask. Yeah, no
Right,
one's stopping
right.
you.
No one's gonna make you eat any food. No one's gonna, no, you
Yeah.
can't wear 2 masks. How dare you clean that handle off before you use it?
Yeah.
I mean,
Don't let
That
anyone
is
else
my
touch your
special
scoop.
dirty handle, you son of a bitch.
yeah.
That's my special glove. Like,
I'm curious that some of the people that are wanting to know this stuff. I mean, I don't want to single anybody out, but are they playing in Seattle currently with all of the precautions? Like, hey, we can only have so many people there. We have masks. Are they playing now, or are they not even willing to play?
A number of them are. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, all right. So they're probably
like
willing to do a national.
for the most part, like I want to say, like
precautions.
We are doing all the precautions that are
Yeah.
probably legitimate to the Michigan precautions.
Yeah. Okay.
We just want to like have the answers, because obviously, like I said, not everyone unfortunately comes on here. Not everyone watches this.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. I mean, it can't be the
when
Wild
we go,
Wild West.
when we go in Monday and we talk about this type of thing, we want to have all the answers and give those proper answers. And we're just
That's cool.
asking the questions that everyone's asking.
I have a
I'm
question.
not interrogating you. I was just curious.
I'm interrogating you.
Oh no.
Damn
Where
right.
were you
on the night of?
3rd of February?
March. I was right here.
The 3rd of February? Isn't that today?
No, that was a month ago.
Oh. I was probably here.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. I've only missed 3 weeks.
28 days you were here. Yeah, that's exactly.
I got
So,
like
Bill, I have a
counted like.
question.
So you
I
weren't
have
here
a-
for 3 weeks. I was like, oh wait, they're counting. And he was like, yeah.
Bill, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
You came here from somewhere else. I know, again, there's 2 guys specifically that I know that are having mask wearing issues, we'll call them. But other than that, did you feel, how did you feel when you came here?
Oh, I thought it was fine. I mean, but again, a lot of the things that are being asked. I mean, we're not ordering food, we're not doing any of that kind of stuff. But everybody put their masks on. We have a good time.
We don't even sit at the bar.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's fine. But I'm pretty. I think everybody has their own comfort level. Like I already know 4 or 5 people here in Chicago that are coming no matter what it is. But again, they're vaccinated too, right? So they feel a little bit more comfortable. And we have 4 or 5 guys that, regardless of how strict or conservative or whatever word we're using, they're not coming at all. Like they have certain things going on in their life that they can't risk anything, right? Like, we have somebody going through like in vitro and stuff with their significant other, and like they're like, not for me this year, guys, and that's cool. I think there's just a select number of people in the middle that are on that cusp that, they're going to wait and see, what the guidelines look like, does the vaccine roll out well, make sure there's no spike and stuff. But I think you're going to have the base number of people, and I think everybody's confident that you're going to put on a safe, put us in a safe environment and where we could still have a good time at the same time.
See, Bill said it's perfect. Come on out.
You know what? Well, let's just do what the NBA did last year. Let's just have a bubble.
Yeah.
Let's
That
have
would
it
be
in nobody.
great. If
Big
we could
bubble
make that
over the
happen,
center.
that'd be really cool.
Right.
I don't know if I could get off for like 2.5 weeks.
Yeah, does that mean I don't have to
for
work?
that.
We'll just all quit our jobs for WhirlyBall.
Yeah. George usually gets us a sponsor, but it's only for like $500. I don't think it'll cover any of our salaries. So.
No. You mean you can't use that good old stimulus that Uncle Sam gave you? You can't live off of that?
No.
Nah.
Gus, I appreciate this. I got to take off. I got to get up early here for work. It's ridiculous and stupid. Appreciate it, guys. I hope I answered all your questions.
Take care.
Thank you for coming.
Yeah, we
Thanks,
appreciate it,
guys.
Clint. Thanks.
I mean, I wanted to come on here before, and unfortunately, I didn't make it. But
He fell asleep.
hopefully, we do this again, and we'll see everyone in June.
I'll be there.
I'm there.
You'll see me.
Don't threaten me.
All right. I mean, you'll see me in a Zoom call, but
every 4 weeks.
Counting the days.
All right,
how many
guys.
days, Clint? How many days do we got?
Oh yeah, what's the countdown?
What's the count?
107.
Something like that.
Because you.
What? You're doing the countdown
guy.
on Facebook all the
You're
time.
the guy.
That's dumb. Somebody who does that's
Yeah.
dumb.
Yeah, who would do something like that?
What's the count? What's the count, Clint?
It's got to be like
You don't
80
know,
or
too.
90 some days.
I don't
How
know.
many?
80 or 90 something, right? Or wait, what
No.
is it? March, April, May, June.
See, he knows it. He's withholding.
Well, I mean, I'm just guesstimating. You have like
110.
110. 30 to 31 days
102.
in a month. You got
102.
2 months, 2.5 months.
102 sounds right.
Clint's just like, meh.
We'll round it off to
Like,
an
how-
even 100, all
Where's
right?
the leave button? Why
Now-
can't
now
we
we
just
know
leave
someone
this
else
meeting? I'm trying to get
Now
the
we
fuck
know
away
someone
from
else
these
runs his Facebook
retards.
page. Someone else runs Clint's Facebook page.
All right. Have a good night, guys.
113 days.
That one's my.
Actually,
fault.
if you just ask Google, it tells you. It's pretty cool. 113.
Oh.
It is 113.
Just ask Google.
Is it June
Wait,
24th?
ask Google. How the fuck does Google know?
Google knows everything.
Google knows everything.
When Nationals
Is Google playing
Google's
now?
been listening
How
to
many
our whole
more
fucking
days is
conversation.
WhirlyBall
Google's
Nationals?
been here the whole time. All hail the Amazon overlords.
Does it say, Steve?
No, it just fucking pulled up some videos.
What day is Nationals? The 24th?
I have to look. I think that's right. That's within a day or two.
Okay.
Well, I
then,
mean,
yeah,
I guess if you add it to your calendar, right? Then
No, I didn't ask
23rd is
Nationals. I
Wednesday.
said Google how many days until June 24th.
gotcha.
Yeah.
24th.
That
is
makes way more
Thursday.
sense.
Yeah.
I was like,
24th 's
Google
the
ain't
first
that
day of
smart.
Yeah, 24th's on a Thursday. So yeah, that's the first day we start
Okay.
playing.
Yeah.
All right.
Thanks,
I'll allow it.
So, any of the out of towners, are you guys planning on showing up any earlier, like, or are you guys planning just coming Wednesday?
And if you are, do
I'm
you
gonna
want to
go
go to
in-
Cedar Point? Because somebody I know has a season pass. We could just free parking.
See, Gus, nobody like I've talked to like wants to fly in early though. They all want to either come in Wednesday or Thursday.
That's
I'm
nice.
flying Tuesday night because I have to work. I have to work that day and then catch the late flight out. So that's
Wait,
my
Gus,
goal.
who do you know has a season pass?
Some guy.
Thumb guy.
That guy.
But who do you, I mean, is it someone we know? Will they think it's weird if we ask them? I mean, it's cool that you know a guy, but
I know a guy.
who's the guy?
I know a guy. Who knows a guy?
Well, that doesn't help. You're just as bad as
No,
you
my
think.
answer is I'll drive in the morning of Wednesday probably.
My initial plan is fly out Tuesday night, potentially go to the Tiger game Wednesday at noon, and then get back over for money tournament. That's my
Oh
initial
yeah, there's a baseball game happening.
Yep, they're playing like 12:30, so it's like it's enough time to go to the game,
I hope it
do
rains.
whatever downtown, and
Are
still
they
get
playing
back.
the Rangers? Are they playing the Rangers that day? Is that
They're playing the Cardinals. That worked out real well in Seattle. Yeah, just to go.
Oh, I got
An excuse to go. I've never been to the stadium. Like it worked out real well in Seattle because they were playing the Rangers while we were there. So like
cool.
there was
That's cool though. So if they're playing the Cardinals at home this year, they're going to play the Cubs at home this year too. So I'll have to go to that. That'll be fun.
Yeah, so it was like a fun. We had like I think there was like 15, 20 of us that went to the game in Seattle, and we got like behind home plate seats for like dirt cheap. Somebody was scalping right while we walked up, and
Oh,
it worked out real well.
thanks for letting us know.
And what day do you plan on being at the center, or stopping by, anyways?
Wednesday. Because Tuesday I'll get in real late. Like if the flights I looked at won't get in until like midnight or something.
Oh, I said Ben.
Oh, I apologize.
Yeah, no, you're good. No, I want to. I care about you too. I want to see you as well.
Google what day is Ben coming to?
Steve, you need to come to Michigan when
Google
I go
might know better than me,
next month.
honestly. So I don't know what my schedule.
It said, "Who the fuck is Ben?" No.
Yeah. That's a good answer.
That'd be amazing.
No, I don't. I'm hoping I'm in town for it, and I'll be there every day. But no, I may not be there at all. We'll see.
Yeah.
Actually, Steely Dan is at a concert that weekend at Pine Knob, and so I might go to that. We'll see. I don't know. But then again, who knows if these concerts are going to happen.
I've always wanted to hear Steely Dan when he's wearing a mask. It'll be interesting.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah. We'll see. I don't know. I don't know.
All right, guys, I'm taking off.
Hogan flopper.
Ooh.
Yeah. Oh, good. He's leaving.
He's not off yet. You can't say that yet.
Yeah.
Is that early? I'm sorry. Did you hear that, Mark? I'm just sorry.
Yeah,
I love the Marvel chair at Hogwarts.
I know. I was on here longer than you for the first time. My bad.
That's a good point.
Well, I don't know. Ben could stay like an extra hour.
I don't know. Is Frank's wife going to get it so I can offend her? Let's do that.
Oh shit.
That was an epic moment.
Right,
that'll be in my top 10 videos someday of the most embarrassing moments on Hello WhirlyBall Nation.
I had to rewatch that the next morning to see what the fuck actually happened because I was so drunk. I don't remember.
That must have been hard to watch.
No, the best part was Weber. He's like, oh. I mean,
the whole room did that. You could probably rewind it and watch each square go, ooh.
Yeah.
Whoops.
Yeah, what's with Weber? Just because he's in Oregon, like they don't get cell service to jump on a call out here? I mean, what's the deal?
No idea.
He's pretending we don't exist, or he's watching right now. Either way.
Yeah.
No, he was watching you guys play the other night. I said hi to him. He said hi back on Monday.
Oh, was he?
Yep. Mark could probably verify that, right?
I mean, I probably could too.
Is Mark frozen time?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's not creepy.
What, he doesn't always look like that? There we go.
Oh, he's gone.
Oh, yeah, because he was leaving. Ben, are you planning on making an appearance during Nationals?
No, so my issue isn't Nationals. It's I'm going to be so busy moving into with all the stuff with my family into the beginning of June that I can't commit to anything. So
right.
My hope is I will be there, but I won't be. I'm not going to be getting on the court to play. So
right.
That's why I chose not to. So.
What about Roy? Is Roy committing to playing?
He wants to.
All right.
He seems like
I hung out with him last night, but it comes down to teams and all that kind of stuff too. So, I'm not sure what's going to work out for him and everything else. So.
All right, are the Willis brothers playing? Because I know.
Good question. So I have not talked to either of the Willis brothers, so I don't know where they're at if they're going to play. I haven't talked to Carlton either, but I know that Howard has talked to Carlton, and so who's going to play, who isn't going to play? I'm not going to.
No, I didn't know if anybody knew.
I don't know if anyone knows. Some people might, but I think that. Yeah, we'll see. That's all I can say. I don't know because I'm totally on the outs anyways. I mean, David might know a little more than me, but I don't know that he knows much more either.
Smile over there.
So yeah.
No, I don't really know anything.
Yeah. I think he's full of shit, but.
Just say, I know you've had conversations.
That's it. I don't know.
I think everyone's had a little bit of a conversation with people at their centers about potentials, because obviously nobody knows anything right now.
You're right. So I had a conversation with Howard, over the past 2 weeks where, talking about the Willises, where they're at. And, there's a speculation that, if Carlton doesn't play, the other Austin and Kalen wouldn't. And that's just not true. They're going to play if they can play. But, moving forward from that, I've heard some of the A teams and what's being speculated there will certainly affect what the B teams down the line will play as well.
Yeah,
so
that's what it all comes down to. Is just once the A teams are set, then we'll see what happens from there.
Yeah, because the A teams suck the fun out of everything, pretty much.
Yep.
I heard you moving up to A, David.
I don't know.
I was just joking, but is there actual talk about it?
He said, I don't know.
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know. We'll see. I don't make the decisions, so.
He's 11th out of 10.
You're a future politician, David.
I could be on an A team. I could not be on an A team. I don't know. Like, it just depends on who's playing, I guess. I could easily get pushed aside.
Okay, that's the right answer right there, too. It's like, when we need you, we'll call you, but we could replace you real quick.
It's like, we're going to assume you're playing B till June 1st, and then go, oh, by the way. The group you've been trying to play with for a little while now, we're changing that up on you.
I think my C team is 4 out of 5 away from a unanimous vote to saying we have our C team. That's...
Do tell, Gus.
I would like to have a unanimous vote before we go public with it, but I just, from the vibrations.
That one guy is gonna fuck it all up, though.
The one neutral, he's a neutral voice. He's a hardcore neutral voice, and he's gonna be neutral to the end, just to be fair, because that's a good kind of guy he is.
I have no idea what teams are going to look like here in Texas. I thought I had a D team set up, and then Carter's wife got pregnant, so that took away one of my D players. So now I'm like, well, I got 3 D players and 3 C players and like 6 B players, and all my A guys don't have a clue. So I have no idea.
Well, if you can at least get one A team, that'd be good.
Doc is running Texas now, is what it sounds like.
And not by choice.
Doc, how do you I don't know if anyone asked this to you already, but how do you feel about, the governor opening up everything and lifting the mask mandate right at this point?
It's an interesting choice.
Do you agree or disagree ultimately? Do you think it's too early, or
I think it's too early, but depending on who you ask in the state, they either think masks are stupid or they lean the complete other way. I'm going to keep wearing a mask until it's better. But, that's me.
Yeah.
Is it too soon? Probably. But people are going to do what they want to do anyway. Now the fun part's going to be, hey, if you walk into a private building without a mask on and they say, hey, you got to wear a mask, and you say no, we politely yet firmly ask you to leave.
Yeah. Well, that's good.
They already put out there, like, restaurants in Dallas, there's already like a list of all of them that are like, yeah, we're not changing anything. We're going to wait. So.
Yeah, but even restaurants, you only have to wear them walking in, and then you don't have to wear them when you're sitting down anyway. So it's not that much different.
Yeah.
Depending on the restaurant, like I've seen restaurants where they're like, you have to put it on unless you're taking a drink, and then you gotta wait till the food comes to the table. Okay. And I mean, not to say like I haven't been to personally any of those, but I mean like I watch a lot of like YouTube videos on Vegas, and there's a lot of restaurants that are doing that, and I'm sure there's others, but yeah, Bill, I mean, to your point, Bill, I think you're mostly right. A lot of the time, yeah, you just sit down, and then at that point they don't care. But which, I mean, I get the argument. It's like you're inside and your mask is off at that point, and you know, what's the point of having it on at all? You know,
no, I'm not saying you shouldn't. I'm just saying that if they get rid of it, I think it's not
I'm just playing devil's advocate here. I mean, I can kind of see both sides of it. But.
Yeah.
I think you would need to show, like, say, a spring break's coming, like in the next week out here. So it's like, check with me at the end of the month, and if we don't spike in cases, I think then you get the people that don't wear masks have more of an argument. Like, oh, it's fine. But I think people are kind of a little nervous about, okay, people are going to go out of town and do all this other stuff, and that's going to potentially spike things again, that the numbers look good because the massive snowstorm hit 2 weeks ago and nobody could get out of their house. So.
Well, I just thought it was really interesting that the rationale for from what I saw in the news was the governor was basing his decision off of, you know, what healthcare experts, you know, the information they provided. But my mind is like thinking like, well, yeah, the numbers are trending down, but that's because you have this mandate, you know, going on right now, and that's and you're enforcing, you know, social distancing or whatever to a degree. But the minute you stop doing that, then yeah, there is potential for a spike, and you can't be like, oh, well, what the fuck happened? You know, it's like you made an irresponsible decision. That's what happened.
Well, and what he ended up saying, like, he pulled the mandate, but he literally said to be personally responsible for each other. Like, but it's just telling people common sense things are not necessarily always going to go the right way. So it's like he can tell everybody that he's blue in the face. Well, I'm going to lift this, but you know, I still encourage you to wear a mask if you need to, and do all this other stuff. And this half the state's like, cool, I ain't got to do nothing now. So we'll see what happens. Yeah, we'll see what happens. But I don't have to worry about it necessarily. I'm going to wear a mask because I have, you know, my mother's high risk as far as potential stuff, and then my main job, I don't have to really worry about it. I'm kind of isolated, but then my part-time job at the theater I'm at, we're going to wear masks. Probably it won't matter anyway, because you know, maybe the seating restriction goes down a little bit. Instead of 25%, maybe they do 50 just to be a little more broad, especially when we start getting more stuff. But I don't expect too much to change for the majority of the state. It's just going to be the people that hated wearing masks to begin with just aren't going to wear them now.
Yeah,
we'll see. But I'm the crazy one. I'm going to buy my plane ticket for Michigan this month twice. I'll buy the one for April. I got to get with Bill and figure out when Chicago people are going. I don't want to show up and not have it only be Michigan people. Not that I wouldn't have fun with just Michigan people.
Yeah,
I need to coordinate with.
It's not. Yeah, I mean, it's the same with me. It's not. I've in the past tried to go when I know, like, you know, the Cleveland guys and or Chicago guys are going, and it just makes it that much more interesting.
Because flights
the late April one.
Yeah, late April. Yeah, I think the 24th and 25th is probably the best one to get. You know, gives enough time to give people a chance to have time to go and stuff like that. So that's probably where I'm leaning. We'll see. By then, the stimulus checks in theory are the end of the month. That can cover costs and stuff. So,
is that confirmed? Are they providing another stimulus check?
Yeah. So the idea, it's in the Senate right now. They're tearing the bill apart as far as, like, they already tossed the $15 minimum wage and stuff. But it's the idea is to have it pen to paper for Biden to sign by the 14th, so that the previous stuff that got signed doesn't expire, is the idea.
$1.7 trillion.
Yeah, they took out some stuff for, like, some railways in California or something that I was reading about today that was like 150 million or something weird.
How do the American people that make less than $75,000 get $1,400? But people in Congress, if they have kids that, like, aren't in school, or I know I'm paraphrasing it or whatever, but, like, there's stuff like upwards of, like, 5 figures, you know, for more government fucks. Sorry, crazy.
No, I'm with you, Bill. I'm with you.
Man,
it just I mean, people taking advantage of the system, right? I mean.
Yeah, I mean, it's the age-old thing. I'm not saying it's even just right now. I mean, it's been, you know, I don't care which side of the aisle you sit on. I mean, freaking regardless of who's been in office, we've been spending money like it's going out of style for 20 years now.
Does the United States ever plan on paying off their debt? I mean,
not in our lifetime.
That's all we ever do is just add to it.
Yeah, I mean, if we weren't just the big bad United States, I mean, it should cost the way they printed more money in the last couple years than had already been in like debt, over, period. Like if we were Venezuela, milk should cost $20 right now,
yeah,
it's really amazing.
Doc, what day did you say you wanted to go? The weekend of the 24th?
Yeah. So April, I would fly in the 24th, and they practice on the 25th. So I'd leave like the 25th that night.
If there's enough people, we could organize maybe a couple hours on Saturday night, even late, some court time.
I was looking at flights that got some of the later ones, like the latest I would get there's like 3 o'clock. So yeah, on Saturday. So yeah, there's definitely an option.
Yeah, I'm sure Doug would open up for you guys. He always does that.
No, what you gotta do is you gotta have a third party rent the court time. That's
and
not
then cancel.
One of us. And then
there it is. Right.
And when we just show up, it's already paid for on so and so's credit card because they called ahead and paid for it. We're coming from blah 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 company, and it's just us. I've thought about doing that so many times. Like, screw the discount. Let's just pay for the court time and just show up. Yeah.
How much is court time when it actually has to be paid for? How about you guys?
It's like 200
$50 on a weekend.
Oh, on the weekend? I don't know what it is on the weekend. It might be $250. I thought it was $225.
It's like $225, something like that. I think on a weekend.
Yeah, I think it's like $225 an hour or something like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if my court time has changed in the last year. I know what it was a year ago. I don't know what it is now. If I wanted to rent a couple of hours, I know what it was a year ago. Might be different now.
I got a couple options. If I could either like fly round trip to Detroit or Friday and then leave Sunday, or I could fly into Chicago, hitch a ride with you guys, and then fly out of Detroit. It's really not all that expensive at that weekend.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
All good choices.
It's all coming together. I like it.
I think we should put an all out-of-towner team together. And do a challenge game with whoever Michigan wants to grab 5 and 5 people from 3 various states.
Fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
3-team round robin. That's what you're saying.
No, but that sounds good too.
Yeah.
So let us know when you guys decide, and we can like book out that court time on Saturday early, just so it doesn't get taken.
Yeah, we'll have somebody's mom do it.
I mean, I'm in. If that works for everybody else, let's.
I'm 90% good for that weekend at the moment.
Just see what kind of Chicago people we can get.
What weekend are we talking
I'll probably be the only Texas guy, but that's fine.
April?
Yeah, so
Earth might be there.
24th and the 25th. Yeah, because I'd have to fly out Saturday. I'm having to work a baseball game with Thomas that Friday night, so they don't have anything crazy late from when I'd be done with that.
Come on, those 1 a.m. flights are cheaper.
I looked. They don't have it. The thing about flying Delta, they're blocking off the middle seats through like the end of April, so that way you don't have to pay like so you don't have to pay like crazy extra for leg room. I can just kind of be broad-shouldered and just have my arm in the middle seat.
There you go.
Yeah.
They did have Southwest had some crazy deals through like tomorrow. I think I looked it up. It was like $120 round trip or something. that weekend.
Wow.
So I was like, jeez.
But you said they're the ones that don't block off.
Yeah,
anything,
that would
right?
be rough. I'd have to like make sure I like locked in my group number, like because you do the 24-hour advanced group numbers, and
yeah,
it's like the cheap price is nice, but that'd be the most miserable like 6 hours on airplanes I'd ever have.
You could wear like a fake cast and some crutches, and then get to the front of the line. You know.
There you
go. Get yourself what's the seats? The emergency exit
there you go.
row.
Yeah. Yeah, because I'll probably, when I lock in those April tickets, I'll probably lock in my June ones just to get it over with. Because those weren't terrible. I think I was gonna fly first class both way because I had my my voucher from last year, and then even on American, I think first class right now in June's like $260 one way or something. Like it wasn't terrible.
Wow.
So it's like I'd only pay like maybe $350 for the flights, but like be very comfortable.
Yeah, when I was coming back from, I don't remember if it was Atlanta or Seattle, but they had like if you were like their reward member, like it was a free upgrade to first class on the flight back. This is the first time I've ever flown first class in my life. I was like, nice, not bad. And I like free. That's my favorite number. So
free is good.
Yeah. Free 99. Man, Clint left and it got quiet in here.
I know.
I had to bust his balls with every question under the sun, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, it's tough.
Yeah. Well, I'll let you guys know as soon as I, decide whether I'll come out or not. When were you hoping to book your flight, Doc?
Probably do that in the next couple weeks or so. Whenever. Like that sounds like a good firm date. If that kind of works for everybody, then I'll just lock that in.
Yeah.
I'll check and let you guys know tomorrow. I'll know, my calendar is clear. I just got to make sure my wife's is clear. So.
Yep.
Do you work on Fridays, Bill?
Most of the time, but I could always. If you're coming in early Friday and I need a day off or something, that's cool too.
All right. Yeah. Let you know.
Yeah, and if we know, like if the core of the three of us are going, then I know. I don't know if anybody else from Texas or Seattle really wants to make the trip, but I could make sure that we have at least a few of us from Chicago that would go with that much notice. I can't imagine that we can't fill up a car at least,
Right.
So.
Yeah, I'll talk to some of the guys here. I doubt I'll be able to get anybody else to go, but
yeah, it seems tough, especially if they're coming to nationals to come back and forth twice in such a short time.
Yeah, quite honestly, the only reason why is I'm even considering is I'm vaccinated now, so I'm not quite as concerned with things. And plus, even if I wasn't, I'm doing all the right shit, right? I'm masking and everything. And quite frankly, it's like, fuck, it's been a year since I've been anywhere, and I know that's, a selfish thing to say, there's a lot of people haven't been places, and they've been doing the right things. But at some point, eventually, you just gotta fucking live life again, and like I said, I'm vaccinated, and I guess there is the argument of like, well, you're vaccinated, but you could still be a carrier potentially. There's they don't have like all the data and research on that, and I'm just like, well, fuck. What do you want me to do? Like, stay in a bubble for the rest of my goddamn life? I just
right.
So, yeah. We'll see what happens. But, all right, gentlemen, with that said, I gotta head out myself. But before I do guess, it was I did watch some of the stream from Sunday. Seems like everyone's getting, a little bit better each week. So, Mr. Howard Davis, he seemed to be killing it.
Howard was lighting it up a couple of those games.
And if I'm not mistaken, I think he blocked Mr. Sam Kim.
Yeah, that was pretty.
Oh yeah,
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
Big block.
I was talking mad shit to Sam. I
He
was
let
right next to
everyone know
him.
that too.
That was fantastic. I was off the court and just started screaming.
And then just like played all casual, like he stayed in the game, like it was no big deal. Yeah, blocking.
Well, it's cool, like just seeing even at our center, Stan and Ben Hanna and one of our Tuesday night players. He actually came in. We hadn't seen him in a while, but Noah and I we're kind of practicing our commentary. When Mark was streaming the game up in the booth, but we were down. We were just just talking about the game, yada yada, and we just felt bad because Stan, he hadn't played for so long, and his shot, he wasn't hitting anything. So it was just when he finally did hit something, we just erupted. We were like, yeah, woo, Stan, and of course Noah was like, watch the glass, Steve, watch the glass. But no, this is all exciting, and it was really cool for Clint to get on tonight and just kind of answer some of those questions, and I'll take the information to the Seattle constituents, and they can do with it what they may. So, but all right, Doc and Bill, I'll be in touch and let you guys know if I'm down to travel that last weekend in April.
Yeah, good deal.
Yeah,
it'll probably be a week before I buy anything. But
all right,
that'll give us time to lock things in.
Okay, sounds good.
Later, Steve.
Later, Ben. Yeah, hope to see you that weekend if you're around.
I should be. I'll be around. I'll be around. I would think.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Right on. All right, guys. Have a good night.
Later.
Steve.
Later.
Yeah.
Bill, was Walter coming up by himself this week? But yeah, on the
I
poll.
messaged him earlier today, and the plan is he's coming up. He says he's coming by himself.
Yeah.
But I'd love to hop a ride with him, but I've been out there like 2 of the last 4 weeks, and
yeah,
I have to be home once in a while too. Otherwise, that doesn't work well. We'll see. Andy was talking about going when I talked to him a few days ago. So maybe once he sees that Walter's going, if maybe they'll come up together or something.
Cool.
And then some of the other people, some people just have kind of fallen off right now. There's some people that kind of, I don't want to say lost interest, after not playing for a year, but it's just not front of mind anymore. And some people don't want to go. But I know Julie and Scott and a couple people were talking about coming up late in the month. They I think whatever the last date of March was, they were talking about attending a practice too. So
I'm definitely gonna bug Julie that she's required to show up in April when I go.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Well, I don't know. She
calendar.
works till 2 a.m. on Saturdays usually. Saturday over Sunday. But maybe that's enough notice to grab a day off.
The bugger. Like, hey, we're locked in. Your attendance is mandatory.
Yeah.
I'm excited to go. I haven't been to Michigan in 6 years almost since the last tournament. So this will be fun.
I haven't been there 6 hours.
I'm checking out, guys. We'll see you guys later.
Take care, Ben.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Later.
Oh shit.
Ben looked like he was falling asleep there.
Will you guys start doing your don't you usually, you guys would do your Sunday practices, but weren't you doing like Tuesday night like drills and stuff like last year before nationals and stuff?
Say what?
I remember a lot of people were also playing on like Tuesday or something like that.
Years ago.
Yeah. Before Seattle.
Maybe.
I guess that is a while ago.
Yeah. Maybe before Seattle or whatever was before that.
And a normal year out here, it'd be lower practice on Sunday and uppers on Wednesday, but a lot of the uppers would come Sunday too.
And kind of like watch, or would there be?
Usually to play, or a lot of them would be coaching on those lower teams, so as a way to kind of watch people play or fill in when people don't show up. We have a lot of people that would show up every week, but then we'd have a few that be like, "Hey, I'm out this week," or so just at that point you just need bodies.
Well, yeah, I'll check that April date, but imagine it should be decent.
Yeah, because I figured Easter would be out of the question, and then I thought about middle of the month, but that's Mortal Kombat comes out that weekend, so I don't think the theater would really appreciate me taking off when we might be busy. So
24th. All right, yeah, I'll check. I'm gonna jump off too. I'll see you guys weekend next week, whenever I'm around.
All right.
Yeah.
Take care, guys.
See you, Bill.
Yeah, I'll get out of here too.
Getting down to it.
Yeah. See you guys.
Take it easy. Just me and the doctor.
Everybody else is asleep in the house with me.
Yeah.
My cat's passed out next to me.
Same
the
thing
cat's
here.
passed out on the couch.
Amy
My cat's
and
been
3
ornery
dogs.
though. He's got claws, so every time he moves, he puts his paw on me. He's clawing me. I'm like, I don't care if you lay on me, but don't claw me. He's more like, why are you awake? We all should be asleep.
We should be. I feel like as soon as I say, okay, Doc, let's sign off, somebody's going to pop on.
Julie wouldn't be getting off work. Actually, I think the last call for Julie's not till like right now. So I don't think you're going to get Julie in time.
And David's off doing his thing he was on earlier.
Yeah. So, I mean, like, it's cool if we got to take off. Like that. I probably should go to bed, take my cat's lead.
I should probably.
Well, then let's just shut it down, pal. And
Shut it down.
We'll meet up next week, and then like I say, next week I'll have locked in some plane tickets to come in April. And
that sounds like fun.
Yeah, that's exciting. I'd say, actually, the stimulus check will help, but I kind of want. I'd like to get a weekend to get away, and like I said, I hadn't been there almost 6 years, so it'd be nice to, see people before nationals and hang out and play a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
All right, pal.
Definitely.
You have a good night, and I will
same.
see you next week.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, all right. That seems to be the end of the Zoom call-in tonight. If anybody's watching, hope you enjoyed it. And we'll see you next week, as far as I can tell. Seems like we're still going to keep doing this public. Yeah, for now. Let me turn on some music, because I like the sound of outro music.